Welcome back to Quelmar, everyone. We are back with episode 8 of Just the Q of Us, our Quelmar anthology, which is traveling across the ages, touching tables and campaigns, going all the way back to Quelmar's beginning to its most ripe and newest stories. Today is a very special episode. We've brought together two of Quelmar's most lovable juvenile delinquents here. They are the Hamburglers of the Quelmar world, in my opinion. They are you hate to love them and you love to hate them. Two of my favorite friends and players, Kelsey and Jeff, as we touch the two campaigns of Brightwater, which you may remember from episode 1, with the Beggar's Bodega, our community campaign from 2021. Enough about me. Let's go ahead and introduce our players and their characters. So we'll start over here with Kelsey. If you can just introduce yourself and introduce Tina as we remember her all the way back in the Brightwater days.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Kelsey. So we're just supposed to introduce the character, right?
I mean, you can talk about yourself. This is the introduction part.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. How long have you been with
So
Quelmar?
Tina, I don't know, James. You know better than I came into Quelmar with your one-shots, the online one-shots that were like the giant, Around the Realms or something.
2018. Yep.
And then I was in Kistin.
6 years.
Yeah.
And also, you came into Quelmar with the Chronepsis campaign. Let's not kid ourselves
that's
here.
right.
You snuck in just a little early, back in that would have been spring of 2018.
Oh my gosh!
Right before
you sent me that message, and it actually was in my calendar. Remember, you asked me to dig through my calendar.
Yeah.
You seem like someone who writes everything down.
Yeah, it was great. But this is not about the Chronepsis campaign. This is about the Brightwater campaign. Tell us about Tina.
Yeah. So Tina is the sheriff of Brightwater, but she didn't start out as the sheriff. She was actually a young ambassador from Mersa, which was an undersand city in Terrace. And so throughout Brightwater, she met some really great friends and really helped establish some of the foundations of what became, next generation Brightwater for the next season.
That's right. And we saw Tina's legacy in, I believe Kevin ran a Brightwater Season 2, which was decades later. And we'll see a little more of Tina's legacy today as we are going to sort of pick up the story in that time. And let's go ahead and introduce our good friend over here, Jeff. Who are you and who's Ardemas?
Hi, I'm Jeff. I use he, they pronouns. I joined Quelmar in 2018. Shortly before the Ancients Alive campaign, and then I played Beggar's Bodega. I started playing Ardemas in 2021, and Ardemas is he's a high elf sentinel from Julespar, fancies himself somewhat of an archivist of magical arcane artifacts. He moved to the desert city of Aladef to continue his father's research out there into the arcane and ghosts. Despite living in the desert, he dresses up like the love child of Indiana Jones and Zorro. A lot of dark colors. He's prepared.
He's prepared. Be prepared. Excellent. Good start.
Oh, did I mention he's got a cape? That's the important part. He got a cape.
And he's got a cool hat. His hat is important. Mm-hmm. His cape's important.
It used to be his father's hat.
Does Tina have a cape? I think Tina's got a cape, right?
Tina does have a cape. She does.
Oh boy, we got two caped crusaders here today joining us in Just a Q of Us. All right, that's enough of that. Let's just get into the game. Let's roll the intro sequence. Here we go. And I think I fixed the net so they can't hear us. And I don't actually know if I can hear it. All right, here we go. And welcome back, players, to Quelmar. We're going to go ahead and get Tina off the screen here real fast, because we're going to start today's adventure in the year 999 PR, right on the cusp of the new millennium. Today's adventure begins out on the edge of the Karmaha in Terrace. The Karmaja is a vast, uninhabitable plain of quicksand and dunes. It is the home to Thrycreen and ancient serpentine races and all matter of danger. But here, in just about the year 1000, we see a very different Karmaja expedition going on. Here, right on that cliffside, where it drops off and the dunes begin to roll, we see a bit of an expedition, an excavation occurring. Here in a field office, we are going to go ahead and drop Ardemas. There you are. Ardemas, you have done great work with that company we mentioned, the Beggar's Bodega. But at the end of their last mission, they came into quite a lot of money. And as a result, renovations were in order. The bodega's been shut down for well over a month now, approaching 2 months, which has given you some time off to not tackle the streets of mystery, but rather unearth new secrets of Quelmar. Here at this excavation site, which it's possible you're helping fund, or maybe you just had the money to go travel out and help them out. Maybe they're paying you to do some of your work, bring your expertise. You are here in the study room in the field office. Let's do this. Invent for me some sort of artifact that you think could have been dug up here on the edge of the Karmaja, which you believe, based on what's being excavated, there used to be a town here, roughly 1,000 years ago or so.
Like something that we're looking for?
Yeah, it could be just it could be something that you are looking for. It could be just something interesting you guys have dug up. It can be something really quirky. Just something. Let's figure out what you're studying here at this moment.
I've read reports in this area that several millennia ago there were reports of an artifact called the Statue of Tarrasque Summoning. It was buried out here. And it never got used, and we want to make sure that it doesn't.
Yes, if the rumors are true, if such an artifact does exist, God forbid it fell into the wrong hands, and, fingers crossed it falls into yours. Someone responsible, like Ardemas. Somebody who works his archivist office out of the back of a bodega in the poor district of a busy merchant city.
I put other knickknacks around, so just like boring stuff, so people don't get suspicious.
Sure. So you're looking over some papers and cross-referencing, perhaps here in this excavation site, this might be where the artifact was said to have been lost to time. When you feel the ground tremble under the force of an unexpected explosion out in the field. What do you do?
I'm just alone in the office right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going outside. Going towards the explosion.
Sure. When you step outside of your office and you look out over the edge to see what in the world is going on, you can see that the core, the bottom of the pit where the excavation has been happening, there has been some sort of activation, because you can see the air ripple with let's do one of these, with a sort of a glow, and you see the scorch of some sort of explosion that did just occur here. And on the ground, you see, Kelsey, give me a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. You see 3 bodies down there of presumably just, laborers who have been doing just the busy digging work. You, in your expertise on artifacts, would recognize that somebody must have either hit, touched, tapped, turned on, found something buried here, 30 feet underground. What do you do? A couple of other of the laborers are starting to roll up, around the upper levels of the excavation site, looking to you, the expert on magical items here, as to what to do next.
Can I recognize what type of magic this might be?
Ooh, good call. Let's make that a sage check. You're going to give me a sage check. Do you have a sage skill?
I do.
All
The
right.
1 dice I have, looking at other stuff that might be relevant. I have a book of field notes for my adventures. Stuff if I'd ever seen anything like this before, potentially.
Yeah, I'd say we can start at medium and maybe up it to easy since you've got the field notes. You've got the research. You can refer
Okay.
back. What sort of artifacts might go off, give a glow off like this? An aura.
All right. Let me sure I'm using the correct dice. I got new Ardemas dice for this.
Nice.
I got 1 success.
And that's all you need. In the Atris system, 1 success is a success. You recognize that this is a divine artifact of some sort. The fact that upon its activation, it does seem to leave this aura field. It's reminiscent of the sort of magic channeled by clerics and paladins and other divine crusaders, which can be promising. Typically, divine power, divine artifacts are used for the good of the realm. Most gods tend to have the realm's survivability in their interest. But then again, there are, powers out there, especially here in the Karmaja, where we know an ancient serpentine people, the ones that plague Aladef all the time, tended to worship gods like Dendar and Seth, and, those gods were not nearly as blessful.
Like, there's a possibility, like, entering the circle is going to have some kind of effect.
On this plane of existence, yeah.
Okay, well, we can't leave the bodies in there, so I'm going to try and call for help to the other people. I'm like, hey, help me get the bodies out from here.
Sure thing. You'll see some of your allies here, some of the laborers will go down, but then as soon as they step into the divine circle, they seem to fall to their feet, their knees, and then their face, and then they're laying on the ground. It doesn't look very violent, but it does seem like there is a powerful ongoing effect here being channeled.
Okay, am I able to detect from where I'm standing? Because I was, like, intending to go down there with them. Yeah,
I mean, I
screw
can
it.
put
Let's.
the edge.
Can I try to? Because I'm good at, like, talking to ghosts and stuff as well. I have spirit sight. So, like, is there any? Can I sense from here if they're, like, genuinely dead? Is, like, a spirit left their bodies?
Yeah, give me, for spirit sight, we're going to dabble in the occult. Do you have any occult on your sheet?
Yeah, I have 3 occult.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was waiting for. There's the reveal. Sure, give me a, we'll say a medium occult, a medium spirit sight check.
Okay. All right, I have 1 success on that.
Wow, that's surprisingly low, but
Yeah.
but thankfully you can detect that they are not dead. When you maybe sort of open a small ripple into the ghost field to see if you're detecting the souls of the departed, which are numerous and poorly handled in Quelmar at this moment. We're in a period of time where the afterlife has a waiting line. And so ghosts will often linger for very long times. And in this case, you don't see ghosts lingering here. So you have to only assume that they must still be alive, just under some sort of sleep or paralyzation or other sort of debilitating effect.
Oh gosh. There's not like a lasso or anything nearby and try and pull one of them out.
I mean, this is a construction site, ropes and things. That I'm sure that's numerous. But in order to do something like that, you probably need to give me a craftsmanship check. We're getting all the tutorials out of the way now. We're just going to do a check for everything, apparently. Do you have a craftsmanship skill?
I do not.
So
That's
this is
a luck
going to
check?
be. So this is good for you, Kelsey. This is called a luck check. If I ask you to do any skills on your sheet that you don't have, Jeff doesn't have craftsmanship. You're going to roll 2d6 and just pray that you get doubles.
Which I think they used up all the doubles in the last
week,
session,
yeah.
so we're not gonna get it. Okay, actually I got 2 6s.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. With that, you are able to thinking, swift on your feet. You create a little lasso, and you are an accomplished adventurer and Indiana Jones-esque character. You fall into that archetype, so I'm sure lassoing them is no problem. Which will let
I'm gonna say I'm half Zorro after all. He had a lasso.
That's right.
I don't think he did.
Lean in on the Zorro part of you, and you're able to pull them out, and they come to their senses pretty quickly once they're out of the aura. And the one closest to you, the one that after you've pulled the last one out, he's sort of already scrambled to his feet, and he's hunched over, unnaturally hunched over, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "What year is it?" In a weirdly old voice for such a young man.
It's 999. What do you mean?
I'm back. I've returned. It's been
What do you mean,
so
what-
long.
Where were you?
It's here, but not here. I was then, but not now.
Okay. Here. I'm gonna give him the lasso. I'm gonna tell him, okay, look, I'm gonna check this out. You focus on reeling in all the other people inside that lasso, and then reel me out last. I'm gonna see what's going on the other side here. See if I can help them.
He readies the lasso. He's got it ready. I mean he's a little out of his mind right now, but he'll probably still suggest we should probably tie it around you now before you go in.
Okay, if you care about safety and stuff like that.
My arms
I guess
aren't
OSHA's
what
watching
they
us.
used to be. Oh my god, my arms are what they used to be. Oh my god, I'm young again.
Okay, yeah. Okay, give me the rope back. I'll tie it around my torso. Say, okay, you know what to do here, right?
Yeah.
Reel me back in when there's an
I'll
issue.
pull you back in.
Okay, sounds good. All right, with that, I'm gonna go into the circle and see what's going on. These folks on the other side.
So as you step into the aura, you will need to give me a vitality check. First, as
boy.
the wave of the spiritual energy hits you. Do you have vitality?
I do not.
This will be another luck check then.
This is where my luck runs out. Woo, Nelly. Yep, 1 and a 2.
When you step in, it's almost like a traditional terrorist sandstorm. You feel yourself being pelted, blustered with energies that you can't quite see, but you can feel gristle on your skin. And as you step slowly closer and closer, you can make out that at the center of the scorch, whatever was found, unearthed, activated, it appears to be certainly an artifact. I'm going to pull up a picture here. It looks like this. Vaguely... give me a sage check. Let's get a sage check here before we'll see what your mind can figure out before we throw all the bad stuff at you.
Okay. All the bad stuff. Okay, I got one sage on a dice. I don't know, would I add anything to that? What type of difficulty is this?
This would be, you know what? Since this is an ancient artifact being unearthed, let's make it hard. Let's start at 2.
Okay. Makes sense. 2 dice. Okay, I got 1 success.
Nice. Then you would recognize the beadwork, the patterns, as being very reminiscent of other artifacts unearthed here in the terraced Karmaja. It is what scholars would call Shadithan, which is a term that means of belonging to an ancient, mysterious society known as Ta-Shadet. It is a Shadithan artifact for sure, just based on the stylings, but it's more than just a piece of history, as you can feel the glare of the artifact's magic enter the back of your skull and surround your own mind. You feel yourself getting lost in vortex-like energies. As everything around you spins, the excavation site disappears, and you will reappear. This would have been a great time for the cold open if we were to do that. But instead, we're going to jump straight to where you do show up, which is here. As the energies finish coalescing around you, you feel solid ground under your feet, and you hear the sound of horses and wrestling and drinks clinking and clashing and drunken patrons stumbling into the streets. But I'm going to jump from you, my good friend Ardemas, here, because we are going to go to one of these stumbling patrons in the street as we introduce, finally, Serpentina. Let's do this. Let me make it. We'll zoom in, and we'll say right around the corner there. Tina, welcome to the town that we all know and love. The town of... Let's do that music. Welcome back to Brightwater. The year is I'll give you an option, because this might affect how you want to play, Tina. It can either be the year 228, which would make Tina about 45 years older than when we met her. And I believe we met Tina when she was like, 16? 18?
18.
18. So so we could do 228, which would mean we're now meeting a math 18 plus
45 is 53.
Yeah, so we're meeting a 53-year-old Tina, or if you want to go full Logan, the other option is we can throw another 10 years onto that, and we can have a 63-year-old grizzled, just like old woman. Okay, great. So we've got like the badass, almost grandma version of Tina we're going to be introducing today. So, the real question is, and thank you, Pumpkin, in the chat there. Hey, welcome to the chat. This version of Serpentina, it's been, 50-something years. We know that Tina goes on to become the sheriff of Brightwater at some point as a young adult. Is she still the sheriff now? Has she spent a career in sheriffry, or has she begun a new chapter of her life?
I think she's like emeritus. So
Sheriff.
she's not the acting, Sheriff Emeritus. Like,
Yeah.
she's not the active sheriff, but she still walks around with the badge on. And, like, whoever's running Brightwater at the time is like, yeah, she still holds an office here, and we let her, like, relive the glory days kind of thing.
That's perfect. So, in the rugged frontier town of Brightwater, where the sand ships dock against the cliff-top bay amidst the expansive Carmaja dunes, Tina, an unexpected arcane explosion shakes the streets, rattles the windows, and as you come running down the avenue of this town that, when you remember coming to Brightwater, it was a one-strip street. Everything was just sort of aligned in this one little tiny town. These days...
Back in my day.
Yeah, back in your day. These days, Brightwater's a little more bustling. It's got at least 3 streets now. Quite the town. Probably even 2 saloons. Look out Brightbeer.
What? Oh yeah, I never go there. I always go to Brightbeer.
All right, Jeff, what's the
Not
name
second
of the...
saloon.
Jeff, you have to decide what's the name of the rival saloon to the Brightbeer Saloon.
The Shrunken Cactus.
All right, put it on the wiki. The Shrunken Cactus, established in the year 231. It's where all the young kids go.
Named after a skull that Kelsey drinks out of.
Yeah. So, where was I? Amidst the confusion of people running in the streets, grabbing their horses, looking out the windows, you can see a gleaming figure emerging, still vaguely smoking, as if energies are sort of coalescing off of him. And as you look out, Ardemas, at the world you've just entered, you're no stranger to the spirit realm, jumping between worlds. That feeling of dimensional travel, you know you've gone somewhere. But you're not quite sure where this place is. But it does resemble those towns that you've studied, the ones you know that existed in the early BR era, long before evil dragons, long before Tiamat, a peaceful time in the realm. And this cliffside town, bustling with elves and humans alike, seems to be a nexus of commerce and intrigue, as many mysterious faces stare at you along the windows of the streets. But one face certainly seems more pissed than interested, as you lock eyes with a gun-slinging, probably a sheriff, if you had to guess. What's the most sheriff-looking part of Tina? A star, a
I
hat,
think it's like,
a gun?
well, yeah, she wears the star on her cape, like as a cloak pin.
Yeah. So then,
It's definitely tarnished, though.
the vague glint coming off the tarnished star seems to indicate you've just found the sheriff of this weird place you've shown up into.
Got, like, my hand, like, steadily on my, ready for danger, ready to...
Artemis, Serpentina, what do you do? The town watches.
I put my hands up very slowly, and I say to the lady holding the pistol at me,
I'm not holding a pistol yet, but I will if you mean this town harm.
not pointing it at me. Is this Ta-Shadet?
Is this Ta-Shadet? No. Have you not heard of Brightwater? Who are you?
I'm Ardemas. I'm glad this isn't Ta-Shadet. It's a lot quainter than I wouldn't have expected it to be. I'm sorry. I think we got off on the wrong foot. Me exploding into your town, just dropping in. Brightwater.
It's a commotion.
Is this still Terrace?
Yes. You're standing in one of the first established towns in Terrace.
Wow, that's.
Are you
Place must be very old. I'm like subtly looking around. I guess I am.
You can give me a sage check, Artemis. We can make this a medium. I'll say... I'll give you the option. Narratively, Jeff, you can make this decision depending on what you think will be more fun. We can take away your notes from your baggage if you think, you would have had left it in your tent, in your study, in your field office. Or we can leave it. You can continue to use it on these rolls if you think it's something you would have had on you, even as you were running into the midst of disaster.
Oh, when did I say I had it last? When I used it first, I was in the field office?
Yeah, we were using it in the field office as you were cross-referencing the...
Okay. I usually keep it in a bandolier. Let's say I left that in the office.
Oh, okay, interesting. That was a good... That sentence led me in one direction and ended in the other direction. He said, I usually keep it in a bandolier, and I left that in the office.
Yeah.
So
it's a big explosion.
So that's great. No, so we can take the notes off of your baggage, and that way we'll see Artemis a little out of his element. We'll try to... Things will still be a little harder, but he's going to have to rack his brain. He won't have, years, decades of research to fall back on. But you're going to give me a sage check. It's going to start at medium. And
right.
This is to figure out what you can discern. You've got a name now, Brightwater.
Moderate. No. It's a fail.
Yeah. The name Brightwater, it's a simple name, Brightwater. It's definitely indicative of an early civilization. It could be, some theorize that Terrace was once very lush and had water and greenery, and maybe this is a town that's so old that it was built even when there was water here, but you can tell that this is not a verdant terrace. So we're probably still here in modern times. But I don't know. Yeah, your brain goes back and forth a few ways, but you're not quite sure what to make of this place. When or where.
Yeah, this could just be like a backwards town, modern times I wouldn't have heard of.
So I'm guessing James, he doesn't look like he has any weapons on him. He put his hands up, so as cause of I don't threat. So I think Tina backs down a little bit and is more curious at this point. She's not as angry.
Sure.
So she'll approach you, Artemis, and say, "Hello, Artemis. I'm guessing you're not from around here."
Yeah, I'm actually from Julespar originally. You know where that is?
Is that like magical gems going into like a fighting ring?
A what? I don't think. No, it's like a city on the East Coast.
Why would you name a city Julespar? It sounds like things are fighting.
I don't know. It was like, I think the Archmage named it like millennia before I was born. I don't know why he picked that name. But yeah, then I was in Aladef originally. Well, not originally, but most recently in the South. You know Aladef?
Is that a person?
I don't think so. No, it's a city. Like the sinking city.
Oh yeah, we have sinking cities. Well, they're not sinking. They're already sunk. They're under the sand.
Oh, this is the future. This must be
to the future? Yeah.
Good. Here, I'll give you a buddy point, Jeff, just because I think our brains went to the same thing, and that's worthy of a buddy point. Oh.
Brilliant.
All right, continue.
Well, yikes. What direction would the sunken city be that you know of?
There's three of them. There's Belovik, which I would hold off from visiting Belovik. We're still working out some trade agreements. They can be a bit standoffish. The Scorpics there aren't very... they're warming up to us, I think. But Mursa is a very good ally of Brightwater, and people travel to and from there occasionally through the Great Opening whenever those occur. I'm actually from Mersa.
Oh, so maybe you're familiar with Aladef then, because it's another sinking city.
Again, it's not sinking down. It's already it's an undersand city.
Right. So is the third sunken city Aladef?
No.
Oh. At least by this point in history, maybe Aladef sunk so deep that they wouldn't even know about it.
What? You mean this point in history?
Okay, this is a weird question, but I'm a little bit disoriented. I guess teleportation magic. What year is it?
Oh, it's 241 BR.
BR? Like with a B?
Yes. B is in Brightwater.
Yeah.
You didn't mean like
Brightwater.
P... Are you sure you don't mean P as in Brightwater?
No, I mean B is in Brightwater.
I think I need to sit down. Artemis just sits down in the sand.
Here, why don't we, can someone get this person a drink, please?
You do that. You sort of motion and gesture, and as you do that, the actual current sheriff of Brightwater appears to have stepped out of a building. Let's figure out what's a fun. I'm going to do this entirely based on minis, because that's how I make all of my best decisions. We're going to make them. It's a dwarf. It's officially a dwarf. In this year, there's a dwarf that's come out here to the deserts and has taken control. As the current sheriff of Brightwater hears you gesturing for a drink, he's not a super likable fellow. He's got a stern fist. That's his name, actually. His name is Stern Fist. Great dwarven name. And he appreciates you. Just a little bit of background. He does appreciate that you do take some sheriffy duties and you have the sense to take control and keep a calm mind, especially when the shootouts are happening. But when he steps out, he says, Sheriff Tina, are you done talking to the intruder, or are we gonna lock him up?
Look, he clearly is confused. I don't think there's need to necessarily lock him up. He's not posing a threat to the civilians. I have the situation.
Not posing a threat to the civilians. Ask him what the hell's that thing in his hand. Ardemas, when you look in your hand, you find that you are holding the artifact that you had only just barely reached out to touch when everything disappeared. It is now in your hand. It resembles, I can pull the picture up again, it is this weird half, it is like half an amulet. When you pulled it out, or when it lands in your hand, I guess, it is only this much. It looks like it is half of an amulet. Clearly still pulsing with a great power, you can feel.
I did not see that.
Yeah, of course you didn't see. You're too focused on the man and not the gun.
Oh, this is nothing. This is just my lucky amulet.
See, just a bit of jewelry. No need to throw people in jail when they clearly aren't posing a threat.
All right, well, get him out of the streets. He's disturbing the peace. Look, these people should be spending money, and they're too busy looking out windows.
All right. I'll get him off the street.
Thank you.
Okay. You better though. No, you better though. Yeah.
Mm.
You know how it is.
I'll just let myself be
Stuff
led.
gets grumpy around this time,
Yeah, I can tell. Is he a normal thorn in your side?
No, he's a good guy most part of the time. I think. Why don't we get you to the Bright Beer Saloon and we can get you something to Get you something to drink, huh? Kind of ground yourself a bit, huh?
Sure, maybe.
Also, I would maybe pocket that thing, right? Make people work.
Yeah, thanks. I'll put it away. Or can't be seen. Like, where I'm from, you gotta have a lot of good hiding places. Holodeath, for the most part these days. There's a lot of thieves around. Gotta be careful.
We had there used to be, I forget where it is. I just dulled my, but there used to be a little hovel of outlaws, of bandits, back in the day. But they're not there anymore.
Oh, no kidding. You round them all up?
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's
let's
at
get
that
out of
moment,
this.
Artemis, as you guys swing open the saloon doors.
James, you do have no signal.
Oh, I have no signal. Oh, where's my? Oh, hold on. We're gonna be right back, folks. I gotta go fix my camera, and then we'll
You
gotta see
what
your
happened to the
mug.
saloon. All right, let's figure out what happened to my camera. Back, and I've plugged my camera in. I'm impressed it ran on battery for so long. But yeah, so we've entered the tavern. You can hear, the sound of the regulars of the Bright Beer Saloon going on and on. But Artemis, as Tina is leading you to a table or the bar, something catches your eye as the archivist you are. On a shelf behind the bar, you notice more Shadethan artifacts. One of them that stands out to you, that almost certainly must have come from Ta-Shadet, is some sort of ship, trinket, idol. It's got similar sort of that beadwork and old desert framework, and it's a type of ship that's not like a modern sailing ship. It is more of this ancient, almost longbow-esque ship. It looks like it's even etched with little runes on the side and hieroglyphics that, funny enough, it does look like in common, the symbols almost look like they're V and an E and an N. They say Ven ship, but that's probably just a coincidence.
Or just really, really poor attempt at runes.
Yeah.
All right, I was gonna ask, can Artemis roll to know what this is, but
Yeah.
sounds up.
It's an artifact. I gave you for free. That is certainly some sort of Ta-Shadet artifact there.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, I'm.
Lower the music just a bit for me.
Yeah. I got you.
Okay, Artemis is obviously mesmerized to find more arcane artifacts, especially from Ta-Shadet, in here. And I'm going to ask this sheriff woman, do you know where those came from?
Yeah. I mean, James, out of character. Did Tilly bring those in here, right?
They were, from what I understand, since I was not at the table playing those games with you guys.
You weren't? I remember you being there.
I know, right? I'm so convincing. I believe that it was something that you guys had brought back sort of as loot from the runes. Jeff can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure he also remembers vaguely. You guys?
Yeah, we brought it back. We rode it. I thought we rode it back to Ta-Shadet. I mean, back to Brightwater from Ta-Shadet, right?
The little boat, or is this like? I must have misunderstood. I thought this was like a little boat, like.
Yeah, it turns into a large boat.
Right. Got it. Oh yeah, no, that's just a magic item that me and my friends used back in the day.
All right. Don't accidentally activate it in here. Wait, you used it back in the day? How'd you come into it?
What do you mean?
Well, I get closer to, like, whisper this more quietly. We're in a saloon. It's like, that's from, like, the ancient city of Ta-Shadet. Were you in Ta-Shadet?
We looted it. No, we just looted it a little bit. A little bit.
A little bit of looting.
Yeah, ethically, trying not to be, too mean about it, like, too bad about it, but, like, a little off the top, no one's gonna miss it, kind of thing.
I'm not gonna lie. That is really freaking cool.
Don't touch it. Hey, can we get the ship down here? And while you're at it, we'll take 2 tall glasses of cactus juice.
Right away, Tino, right away. Here we go. I'm the current bar staff. I replaced Gene 15 years ago. My name is Sheen.
Sheen?
Yeah, I got A-class world building here tonight, friends. Sheen gets you a couple of drinks. Returns back. She knows that this is something that probably belongs to you or Tilly or Gene, or you share it. But he'll bring it down so you can have it at your table as well if you want.
Am I really allowed to touch it? Are you serious?
Drink your drink out of it. I go to pour like his cactus juice in it to take a. You want to have your drink in it?
Oh no, that's okay. You don't need to do that. That'd be excessive.
All right. I hand it over to you. Oh, but again, I toss it a little bit. Think fast.
Trying to grab
give me
it
an
very
agility
gently.
check, Ardemas.
Oh no.
This is a real
Actually,
defining moment here.
I got 2 agility dice.
Okay. Wow,
Let's
you got
see.
2 agility and 3 occult.
Okay, I failed.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll do that. This incredible, one-of-a-kind Shadithan artifact is handled so haphazardly by this old woman who doesn't know the value of things, going around looting, throwing. No wonder, nobody dug it up in the future. If everybody's just destroying all the Shadithan artifacts 1,000 years ago, damn it. It hits the ground, but only, we'll say, like, 1 post snaps off because it's pretty sturdy. It's not like made of glass, as I understand.
Oops. Flippy fingers.
No! I'm just trying to pick it up and, like, seeing if I can put it back on. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a good catch. I meant, like, I'm not good at catching things.
Okay. No harm, no foul.
Is that normally how you handle things around here?
I mean, what's the matter? I feel like it's on you for not catching it, but that's okay. We don't have to get into the details.
I mean, like, you know how valuable this thing is, right?
Well, yeah, me and my friends, we rode in it. It was pretty fun, but, it's not really, we don't really use it anymore. It's more of like a paperweight these days, kind of like just an ornament.
I didn't mean, like, social value. I meant, like, historical value.
Historical? I mean, sure, but I mean, the commerce here isn't really necessarily in, these nickety knacks. It's more in trade.
Okay, it makes sense. You.
Wait, are you into like these little trinket thingies?
That's a word for it. Yeah, I was gonna ask what others you have in here.
Well, we have some up there. I also have this, and I pull out, it's a little green emerald that I've held with me, since we had Brightwater. I also have this that I found on our way to Ta-Shadet.
Oh, I think that's just an emerald.
Oh, I put it back in my pocket.
Yeah, I'll say, as you're looking at all the Shdethan artifacts, and there's a little trinket here, this little puzzle box, jar of locks, you're not really sure, just all these little things picked up here and there. And the amulet that you still have, maybe you put in a pouch though, you can feel like a resonant energy. And you're not sure if, I don't know, give me a sage check. Let's figure out how much yeah, sage. Let's do sage. This is the
Nope.
sort of divine magic world.
Sage. I got 2 successes.
Excellent. So you would be able to figure out that this item, if it
Oh,
is...
Wait, I'm only supposed to roll 1 dice. I'm an idiot.
No.
I have 1 sage dice.
No. So, when I say when I ask you to make a check, the rule is, and this is for both of you, is it's almost always going to start at medium. So you're going to roll 3 dice.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So how many did you roll that time?
I rolled 3 dice that time.
Oh,
and
great.
got 2 sixes.
Perfect. And that's all you needed. You accidentally did it
My
right.
brain did it.
Yeah, you're on autoplay. With 2 successes, I can definitely let you know that it almost seems like this artifact, which is only half of an artifact, it certainly has like a very small crease along the edge line where it may have broken in half. If it is of a powerful enough magic, and I mean, this ship is certainly magic. Tina's saying that it grows into a real ship. They drove it around Terrace. It's almost as if it is trying to connect and find its pair, and that maybe there is another Shdethan artifact that it matches. That's not the feeling you get. It's more like you can feel the resonance, and you know that broken artifacts will, in presence of their pieces, try to fix themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some other ones back at my place that I have collecting dust and giant chest as well.
Oh, I pull out the artifact where I had it hidden. Do you have any that look like this? Like the other half to this?
I don't know. I haven't opened that chest in quite some time, to be honest.
Well, yeah, you got me. I'm really interested in this stuff.
What are you, some like sort of archaeologist? Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am. Actually.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
Thanks. I've been looking specifically for Ta-Shadet stuff, hence my interest. So, and like this is, I explain that this artifact is like, okay, this is something that we found. It's Ta-Shadet in origin. So, if you have anything like it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't opened the box in like forever. Just been kind of like sitting in a corner collecting dust. So, but yeah, here, sure, yeah, we can go see if there's a match there.
Don't mind, I'd love to take a look.
You know, we do have a building here that we erected specifically to house certain cool artifacts.
Yeah.
Really? You're kidding?
No, we do. It got developed with the 2nd Street, before they put that lousy 3rd Street with the stupid saloon in, but...
I would like nothing more than to see this building.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Are you done drinks? Sheen comes over at that moment with the drinks. He says, "Hey, I got your drinks here. You guys, how many rounds today, Tina? 3? 5?
Just one right now. I'll be back though. You hold my drinks.
Oh, are you leaving? Oh, you just got here. Okay, see ya.
So the newcomer wants to see the archaeological exhibit.
Ooh, like a archaeologiker? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Archaeologicers?
I've been told that.
I've never met an archaeologiker. That's fascinating. Did you Tina? Did you tell them all about that place you go to where the ship came from?
Oh yeah. Ta-Shadet, right?
Ta-Shadet. Yeah. You've heard about Ta-Shadet, right?
You still go there?
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a journey, so I don't make trips there anymore because, my place is here in the town and going back to Mersa. But the young ones these days, they all are, pushing to make a name for themselves, going out to sort of unearth the ancients of Ta-Shadet, because there's a lot to be found there.
Yeah, I got a stepson. He doesn't live in Brightwater anymore. He went off to Crooks Creek, the bastard. But I hear he goes out to Ta-Shadet every so often. They're still looting things. It's like it never runs out.
I know. Yeah. Crazy.
They've been melting down some of the metals. It's been
because we're trying to make our own currency, So
yeah, check this out. He grabs a coaster real fast off the bar and he slides it over. He's like, "This is actually made out of something that my stepson brought back."
Take my drink, I just down it. Yeah, I'm trying to be respectful. I was on board when it was like, oh, they're bringing stuff back and rescuing it, and then she dropped the ship, and I'm like, oh shoot, where am I? What the hell is this? We're gonna get back to like the ancient artifact that was gonna be like a old wooden cart or something.
Horses aren't wooden.
Okay, horses wooden. No one knows what we're talking about, Kelsey.
All right, where are we going? We go into the warehouse. We go into the Shadet. We go into the streets. We go into the where? To the what? What's going on?
So we can go either to the archaeological exhibit that we put in house some of the cooler looking artifacts, like the dippy ones we don't really care about, so we just kind of like move them down. But there's also a bag of ones in my old office that I kept.
I'd be curious to see what you thought was important enough to hold on yourself in your office, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. And I'll down my cactus juice as well and say, thanks for the time, Sheen. You put it on my tab, okay?
Every time, Tina. And then so did you say you wanted to go to your office then? In that case.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go drag an office out into here. And let's do. Sure, that one's good.
So tell me, Ardemas, about where you're from.
Aladef? It's a city of thieves, city of merchants. They keep having to build more and more floors to it because the other ones just keep sinking deeper and deeper. I think there's like a river that runs underneath it, like an underground river. It's called like the Delta Serpentine. Serpentina.
It's just Tina around here.
Yeah, that's your name, right? I was just making a pun. Sorry, never mind. That was disrespectful. I've been out there looking for, arcane artifacts. But
And you're telling me Ta-Shadet artifacts got all the way out there into an underground river?
I don't know. I found this one at a dig site. outside of the city. It's tough to find magic artifacts in Aladef itself because so much stuff is getting smuggled around by the bandits, and sometimes they don't even really know what they have. You know how, like, when something's really valuable and historical and they don't know what they got, and so they squander it?
Oh, yeah, kids these days, am I right?
Yeah.
At that point, we could say Tina is just, Tina probably is saying that after having come back from a back room and dropped the chest onto the table here in the middle room here. And, I mean, it's probably, I don't picture that Tina's keeping a very large, heavy chest of looted items around. But probably
no, this is probably
the
stuff, like, yeah, I would say most of the stuff is the things that had more sentimental value when her and her group, like, first raided Ta-Shadet and found stuff.
The old original stuff. Yeah, that's that would be why the ship's on a shelf, right? It's that ship saved Brightwater. That ship is responsible for God knows everything that happened. And so so other small trinkets are here then. And they come in all sorts of baubles and bangles and sizes. Some of them look like they could be jewelry. Some of them look like they could be little idols or statues.
Every time I pull one out, I have like a 3-page story. Oh yeah, this one,
And it's at that moment, Ardemas, that you are handed an idol after Tina has told you all about whatever room they found it in. And when you look at the idol, you get this uncanny sense looking at it that you are looking at an idol of yourself. The little sculpted headpiece on this little 6-inch figurine, it's like, it's well made, but that's definitely the hat. You did not know that they even had hats like that in Ta-Shadet. You thought that was a modern fashion sensibility. But the hat and the hair, and even the sort of the facial structure a little, is just like so weirdly reminiscent. And when you see Ardemas looking at this idol so closely, you're looking at Ardemas looking at an idol that looks just like Ardemas. So it's kind of funny looking from your angle, Tina.
It looks like you.
You said BR, right? This is all like still playing into my theory that I'm in the future.
No. Why would this be in the... Are you... So you're from a different time?
I think so. I mean, if you never heard of Jewel Spar, that would check out. That place is pretty old.
Oh. How far back in time have you fallen?
Let me think. BR crosses over ER sometime in the 900s. Close to like 2,000 years?
Oh.
Short of
You
that.
look great for 2,000 years old.
Thank you. I am an elf. And they age pretty well. That is... I look in the box for other things.
Oh, yeah,
give me a hunt check, and let's see if we can find the matching artifact here.
Okay. A hunt check. I don't have
Can
hunts.
I give, help, since I'm also going through this chest?
I'll let you try the check if he fails, is how we'll do it.
Okay.
So it's 2 checks rather than 1 with help. Let's make it, it's not a huge lot of them, and you already have the 1/2 that you can sort of compare it to. So it can start at medium. If you have anything in your baggage or abilities or etc. that relates to pinning down artifacts, jewelry, really specifically, we're looking for anything about matching details and fine jewelry.
Okay. Not without my field notes. I do have bad baggage that says, thinks everything might be a magic artifact.
Okay, I'll let you make it easy then.
Oh, does bad baggage make it easier?
Sorry, that's what I meant. You apply it, but that makes it harder. So it'll go to 2. But the ones that let's do 2. Let's do 2.
I don't have any hunt skill.
Oh, so then in that case, screw it. It's not going to get any easier than a luck check.
Okay, I'm just
you're
doing a
gonna
luck
have to
check.
roll. Yeah.
Gotcha.
How does it get? Get doubles.
I got 2 3s.
And that's we got doubles all up in here today. Artemis.
I'm taking pics of this, but I don't buy
archiver.
it. I've seen all the past sessions.
It's
I don't know
hard.
what happened last session, but
Yeah, little.
we got some type of luck in this
carried
game.
over. So you pull out. We can say maybe it's a little headdress bit, like a band that you think is missing the bit on top. You think maybe you take that sort of bow-shaped, butterfly wing-shaped amulet piece, and maybe if you connect it with the bow, because you can still feel it's resonating. It's resonating with so much power here. All the Ta-Shadet artifacts here. And when you do that, you take it, touch it to the bow, and the two of you just hear the slightest of clinks. And then there's like almost like a gunpowder explosion. A sense of a wave, a shock wave ripples out across the room. And the two of you are going to give me vitality checks. These are going to be very hard vitality checks. So start it at 1 die, and then it can go up if you've got things that will protect you against divine, magical fissures, traps, attacks, explosions.
Did I mention Ardemas has a cape?
You know what? Tina also has a cape. I was gonna say though, as soon as the explosion happens, Tina's reaction is to like cover the civilians, so she will try to like protect Artemis, I think.
Oh, okay, Artemis. I'll say you can make it go up 1 level then. With Tina's got something that probably wouldn't help Tina do it, but would help you.
Okay. I don't have a vitality trait.
Oh, you don't have vitality, so it's still going to be just a luck check for you?
Wait, what is this? What is vitality? Oh, it
Vitality
is.
one of
Okay,
the
it
skills.
is.
Yeah, it's one of the 6
It
skills.
is a skill. I
Or
found
one of
it.
the 10 skills.
I do not have that.
I don't.
So-
I also don't have vitality because I.
So really, what we're looking at, I didn't even need to ask. So neither of you are survivors in this sense. Let's get just luck checks from both of you, vitality based.
Okay, no. Craps.
3s! I got 2 3s!
I'm glad you did. I got 5 and 1.
So Jeff successfully unlocks the power of the magic, activates the amulet, combines it with more of this resonant energy, maybe completes it. More likely just finds a way to turn it back on. And as the ripples rip out across the room, Tina, you keep your bearings. You can watch around you in fast motion the deconstruction of the office, the deconstruction of the 2nd Street, the deconstruction of the 3rd Street, the deconstruction of the 1st Street.
No.
Your mind is spinning with this vortexal energy of the world changing around you. The teleportation or the portal energies, this this is no good. And you watch Artemis is completely lost. And his head sort of sinks over across what used to be the table. And he is sort of passing out. He's not witnessing anything going on around him. And eventually, when everything does eventually spin around into a freezing position, and you have re-entered the time stream, your feet land under you, and Artemis is slumped over unconscious next to you. Let's knock over Artemis. There we go. Boop. And the world around you is very un-Terrace-like. It feels like it's recently rained and the earth rained. I don't even know if, technically speaking, I don't know if Tina knows what rain is. But the earth is damp, it's wet and green with all the same sort of grassy, mossy textures that you probably have mostly seen underground, growing in caves on rocks, not in the deserts of Terrace. What do you do?
No. I'll go and check on Ardemas. Try to see if they're still with us.
It looks like he's taken a... Well, it may not look like anything, but Artemis, you've taken a wound with that fail, so you're going to fill off one of the check boxes next to one of yours. It's really bad that you double down so hard here, because, like, if you wound agility, you know, all of your agility checks will be harder. If you wound occult, all of your occult checks are harder. And then whatever your last skill is. Yeah, so just pick one checkbox and check it off.
All right, it's done.
Great.
I think Tina, being in a place she cannot even fathom, she'll do a bit of like a safety bit of a check, going around, seeing if we're under attack, if we need to move, if
Yeah, give me a hunt check. We'll make this a hard hunt check since you're out of your element here. So start it at hard, and if you have anything that's related to what you just said, it can bump up to medium or even easy.
No, I think.
All
right. So hunt's on the number 4, and I rolled a 5 and a 6, so that's a fail, right?
Yep, that's a fail. Yeah, you look around, you know, there's so many trees here. The further you look at the distance, it's just more and more places for predators to hide. Not to mention the river that's flowing here. You can't even comprehend where you would be attacked from. It might be too overwhelming from every angle. You're so used to the open prairies, the open skies, being able to see anything coming from miles away. Here, it's so clustered. God knows when anything could attack, even from under your own feet, from the water, from above. I don't know. Artemis, about that time, you're going to start to come to. And the first thing you'll feel, of course, is the damp grass on the bank of the river under your hands.
Pull the rope. Pull the rope. Get me out of here.
Hey. Where?
I'm feeling the grass around me.
What?
Maybe Eisenhound? I don't know.
Is that a dog?
Wait, would I be able to tell?
Yeah, give me a sage check.
Sage check. All right. What type of difficulty is this? Always moderate, unless said otherwise.
Moderate, yeah. Unless I tried it, I purposely make it harder to start at moderate.
Okay, cool. Nope.
Yeah, I got nothing for you then. You can't tell. It's so, foresty here anyway. It's not like you'd be able to make out a forest of a Sugbo to a forest of Eisenhound with this denseness.
I have no idea where we are. I don't know what happened to the town. Okay.
I don't think we're in Terrace anymore.
Yeah. I don't think we should just sit here.
Yeah, we gotta get back to a town. Somewhere.
Yes.
Where'd you say, like, the nearest town was? Like, we were in Brightwater, but was there another town nearby?
I mean, Mersa is my home, but Mersa is under sand, and this is not sand.
Yeah, we might be a completely different continent, you're right.
Well, no,
It's just-
your little time thingy, right? Where is it? Wait, where is it?
You still
Do I
got
still
it.
have it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did
Yeah.
this... So when you grabbed the one piece, it threw you back 2,000 years.
Give or take a few, yeah.
But what happens when you connected the two?
It either moves us through space in addition to time, or it throws us back even farther in time to a period where the biome of Terrace is completely unrecognizable. Which of those theories do you think is more realistic?
I don't know. Oh my gosh.
Well, it doesn't matter. Either way, no matter what period in time we're in, no matter what continent we're on, you follow a body of water, you're bound to come into some town or civilization of some kind.
Right. Just give me a moment. And I think for the first time in a very long time, Dina, I don't think, has had to really load her guns as much. So she's like checking to see what she still has on her, and like her weapons and things, her knives. And she, most importantly, she checks her little bag, see if her scorpions also came with her.
Yeah. Everything that was on you, it definitely would have traveled with your person for sure.
Okay. So I'll pull out some of my scorpions and let them know what's going on, and have them travel along with us to...
You may need to remind the audience at home what that means. I know Jeff will know.
He just keeps saying insane things, and the audience is like, what?
Sorry. So Tina was a
Swarmkeeper.
A swarmkeeper ranger. She also had like the sharpshooter feat, so she was very good at shooting, sniping. But she kept a swarm of scorpions with her, which acted kind of almost like a familiar. There were certain things she could do with them, like send them forward and scout and annoy other PCs in the party. So they're very much part of her character.
How would scorpions annoy other party members? I can't imagine.
I mean, they're just really not...
I'll represent them with this scorpion miniature. We'll have this guy on the board just to sort of represent that they're tagging along with you.
Will the scorpions still call you Mama, or have you been promoted to Grandma?
No, I don't. Did they ever? I don't think they called me Mama.
They didn't? Oh.
Nah.
I'm misremembering. DM, weigh in. I see you in the chat.
Following the body of water, is that the plan I heard?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we'll take our party, and I'll get Jeff up. We'll take our party, and you guys will start heading down the body of water. After an hour's travel, 2 hours travel, you come to a wall in the woods, but not a crafted wall, a natural wall. A wall where the climate of the woods changes abruptly. And you see, like a sandstorm, but a snowstorm has slowly moved into this section of the forest. And is very slowly, like noticeably where you guys have stopped moving, and you can feel that it is very slowly actually moving sort of in your direction. But so slow that it almost feels like it's just like a wall of snow. And beyond it, you can tell that, it's still the woods, but it's been snowing over here. A snowstorm's been blowing for quite a while, judging by how thick the snow is laying on things.
It was moving towards us?
Yeah, it's like a storm. It's moving, but it's moving so imperceptibly slow.
Do you want to go through it, Do you want to go the other way?
I don't know. Does Artemis know about the primordial chaos?
Oh, yeah, let's
it's
get a
funny.
sage check. Let's get a sage check, Artemis.
Okay.
Nice.
Give it a try.
Points for Jeff. Of course, points for Jeff. There's nobody else who knows Qualmar lore better than Jeff. Maybe Keller. Keller's catching up to you.
Artemis does not.
Yeah, Artemis, he's an archivist. He's an artifact hunter. He's not necessarily a historian. World events are only important in that they are connected to the loots and troves and tombs and graves and the burials. Any sort of madness involving seasonal chaos would have passed him by.
You cannot put a snowstorm in a museum.
Amen.
Yeah.
But we might just have to go through it, so you're going to have to stay close. Don't let the wind catch up underneath you. Keep your cape tucked in and close. Try to keep your body warmth inside of you.
Okay. If it left me, it'd be a problem, yeah.
Would.
Yeah, I'll tuck my cape into my pants. Just
Now
be
might be
extra
the time
short.
to tie down your hat.
Oh, my hat! I tuck my hat into my pants.
All right, I am going to need a vitality check from the two of you as we begin to start to step through the snow and the cold temperatures. And, we are two terrace native people. This is not our climate.
I am a Yuan-Ti pureblood.
So you're saying you're a cold-blooded creature and so it should be harder?
Should be easier?
A cold
Is your blood is cold?
I don't think that's how cold-bloodedness works, Kelsey.
Oh, so you're not gonna tell me how things work? Putting a snowstorm in a jungle. Okay. Somehow that's the craziest thing suggested.
I'm not going to make you roll harder because I don't think Yuan-Ti are necessarily cold-blooded.
I do not have vitality.
So it'll be a luck check. I think it's a luck check for both of you. We did this
Luck
already.
check for us both.
Yeah.
I fail.
I got 2, 3, and no joke.
All right. So we'll take a wound for Jeff, but Kelsey is going to continue to dominate on the doubles game.
Poor Kelsey's trying to
You
lug
make sure
this
to use
nerd
all
around.
of your luck early so that we don't have it later. That's the important part. That's how we get dramatic
Exactly.
tension into the third act. But yes, Jeff, you will
I'm
need to mark
asking
off
for
another
checks
thing.
that I don't have. Gosh.
To be fair, you built a 60-year-old retired sheriff woman. I'm not surprised she doesn't have vitality either.
No, I purposely picked not vitality. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly. And that's the key here, right? She is not built for this time traveling, globe trotting, whatever this is. She's out of her element, and as such, she's only going to survive if she gets lucky. And so far, she's gotten lucky. So far. Meanwhile, poor Artemis, what a nerd. As we have been crossing.
Work arena.
Yeah. As we've been crossing through the snow, behind you, Tina, you can hear that the second set of crunching feet has stopped crunching. And you turn around, and it looks like Artemis is beginning to sort of collapse and freeze up, shivering.
Okay. I will. I'll try to lift them up and carry them with me. Not, be like, come on, we gotta make it through. Come on. Think about all the amazing artifacts that are just outside of the snowstorm, right? Just waiting for you to grab.
Huh? You know any?
Thousands. But we gotta keep going.
All right, you gotta tell me where they are later.
Yep, yeah. And like I'll put his like arm around my shoulder and like we'll step through it.
So the two of you begin to take maybe 2 more steps, and you can feel Artemis just sort of getting heavier, like his body wants to curl up. Just the act of not being curled up in a ball and losing heat standing is having a grave effect on him. And as he starts to get heavier and drop down into the snow again, waist into the snow, the both of you can hear on the wind a voice that says, "This is no place to die. Come on, son. Get up." And Tina, still healthy for now. You squint and you can see coming through the brush ahead is a sort of wizardy-looking fella in a strange hat. Quirky.
Is it Darwin?
Yeah, it's Darwin. Yeah, we can do I'll make him a little bit bigger, give you a little bit of context. Just a sort of a quirky-looking wizard, big old beard. It looks like maybe elven. You see pointy ears. A cane.
Dad, is that you?
I want to make him small. Which button is that? There we go.
James, FYI, we can only see this on the screen.
Oh, is this not... did I not feed it to you? Oh, good call. Thanks.
Just assume we got buried in snow and died.
Yep.
Yes.
There we go. Yes. So the old man, he sort of picks his feet up. He's hobbling through. He's a fellow octogenarian like you, Tina, making his way through the cold. He says, "Now I understand what's going on here. You're not gonna die, not on my watch. Come on, Ardemas, get up." And he's gonna reach an old hand out and try to lift you up with your other, so that you've got sort of a hand on Tina and a hand on the old man.
Okay. I'm very uncomfortable, but I try to comply.
And with them both supporting you, you're able to sort of also get their body warmth on either side and start crunching your way through the snow. And he'll begin a little bit of a unprovoked diatribe as we are beginning to make our way through the woods in a sort of a soft voice. "Ardemas, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. This is big for you. It's big for us. You just gotta make it. We're almost there."
How do you know, Ardemas?
You look across so if you've got him on your left arm and then the wizard is opposite, you're sort of looking across the two of them. And as you look across the two of them marching forward, you notice that they have very distinct and matching profiles, not unlike the little idol that you saw Ardemas looking at himself earlier. The two of these men also very similar looking.
Are you Ardemas? Are you related to Ardemas? What's your name?
Yeah. Smart as you ever were. This is... I don't think I remember this happening to me, but it makes sense that it's my job now to help both of you get to the city so that the story can continue. Otherwise, so the feelings... Yes. Oh, what was the question?
Your name?
Oh, my name. Ardemas.
Ah, there it is.
Oh, coincidence. It's my name.
As we break the tree line at this point, up ahead, Tina, and actually Ardemas too, you've got your senses a little more about you. The three of you see a valley that's headed down and across, where the forests are not so dense, and more importantly, hovering above the horizon are pyramidal shapes pyramids, but they are inverted. Upside down pyramids hover lowly on top of the surface of the horizon. And he says, Ardemas, old Ardemas, he says, that is home sweet home. Come on, kid. We're gonna get you there.
I'm just focusing on, like, counting my steps, trying to keep conscious. Following along.
So how old are you? That's too old.
Oh, I'm about as old as an elf can get. Let me see, what year is it? Well, I guess there aren't numbers on these years, so I gotta go my age. Like 2,000 years old, I guess. That's probably where I top out.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really old.
Yeah, even for an elf. And you're gonna get this old too one day, Artemis. Don't worry. Almost there, buddy. And the group of you, here we go. Get all the way up here to where the snowstorm breaks open. It took no time at all, or maybe it took all the time in the world, but the way, your mind is phasing in and out, Artemis, you finally get stonework under your feet. You feel the snow bank behind you, and looking up, you can see that you have somehow, maybe with the help of your friends here, managed to position yourself directly under a massive floating shape above you. Not too high, not like high in the sky, just like high enough that I'd say the point of the pyramid is like 40 to 50 feet up. So if you imagine like a 3 or 4 story building, so a small building, the top of that building is where the pyramid's head starts. So like you could reach it if you had like a scissor lift. I don't know how to make this work for our brains, our modern brains. If you had a really nice scissor lift, you could go all the way up and reach the top. But otherwise, it's pretty high up. And at the bottom, where the point is about to touch the ground, there is a little circle, a little etching on the ground. And before you reach the middle of the circle, which presumably has something to do with this shape above, the old Artemis will lean into you, Artemis, and he'll say, now remember, when excavating, there's, back in the oldest stoneworks, we're talking 40 feet down. Do you know that layer of granite that's indicative of sandstorms and snowstorms?
Sure.
Yeah, you can give me a very hard sage check here. You can try to remember if you have anything that'll help you jog your memory.
Got my field notes I left in the wrong time. You probably wouldn't have that there either. You got a cape. I can't think of anything.
All right, it's probably just the one die, just the 1d6. Fingers
Straight
crossed
die.
for sage. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, he sees your eyes just glaring over. He says, remember, there's a chunk of granite in the record, in the excavation record, and right after it are the telltale signs of an earthquake. After the storm comes the quake. You remember? If you don't, remember it now. After the storm comes the quake.
After the storm comes the quake.
After the quack comes the storm?
You
help him
Don't
remember.
confuse me now.
He'll look to you, Tina. He'll say, if he doesn't remember, help him remember. After the storm, there's a quake.
Jeez, are they giving me another one of these memory tests?
All right. I'll be right behind you, but I can't get too close. Go on. And he'll give just the slightest of nudge forwards, and the two of you will step into the middle of the circle. And there's a small flash of light, a sort of a warp sound, a vortex warp, an ancient sort of magic that will... It's almost like blinking. It's very quick. It's very fascinatingly quick. Not like the modern teleportation or this dimensional jumping energies you've been experiencing today. It's really like you stepped right into it, you blinked, and you found yourself inside somewhere. And the sounds of like a busy street, like a town or a city or something, echoes in all of these hallways around you, but you're clearly inside some very dense building. And I'm going to take the old Ardemas off the board. And then we'll have you get greeted by one of the citizens here. So there's a young elven woman. She's sort of like a high elf or sun elf, golden skin, white hair. Let's get a sage check from Tina. Did Tina grab sage at any point?
I don't think so.
Great, let's get a luck check from Tina.
So 3 and a 6.
Yeah, you're trying to rack your brain around something familiar about all of this, but you're not making any connections right now. And she'll come in and she'll see the very, weary, injured elf, and she'll start to talk. And Tina, I don't know if Tina ever spoke Elvish, is the problem. And so she begins to say something in what is clearly a high elven sort of tongue, and she's gesturing to Ardemas. And Ardemas, you can make out what she's saying, but not everything. She's speaking like almost the Old English, like Beowulf was written in, the Old English version of Elvish. So in that, you catch a key noun here and there enough to be able to pick up what she's meaning, and the gestures help too. But it is clear that this has got to be some sort of alien society. It's got to be some sort of time so far beyond the common tongue or even the Elvish tongue. Language is a mess here. But I will give you one more sage check, since you are looking around now at the woman, at the town, at the market, at the sounds around you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Give me one. I would have put more sage in. There's so much sage. Okay, I got one success.
Nice.
Hey!
Everything that you would have known or read in these old books from Marcellus the Wanderer, the oral traditions of the Rashad, all the snippets and artifacts you dug up here and there, they all, the beadwork on the art amulet that's still in your bag, it all lines up and matches the people around you, their clothing, the way the walls are decorated with the designs of the paintings, the scarab imagery. Over there, you think that's like maybe a statue of Anubis in the corner. Anubis, of course, being, as we know in the year 1000, an old version of Nerul, god of death, that was worshipped once upon a time in the old societies, including the society of Ta-Shadet.
Yeah. Turn to Tina. We're in Ta-Shadet.
No, we're not.
This. You've been to Ta-Shadet after its fall. This is Ta-Shadet in its prime.
What?
In other words, don't touch anything.
Why not? Wait.
Jeff, you can mark off a wound. As you guys are whispering to each other, the woman has applied a healing touch to you. just enough to knock off a single wound.
Oh.
But she continues to speak. You catch every other word, which comes out something like, Sir, luckily survived. You did. Welcome back. I don't recognize you. Name.
I try my best to say, thank you. I point to myself. Ardemas. I point to Tina and I say, Tina.
Tina.
That's Sheriff Tina.
Sheriff
It
Tina.
was Serpentina.
Sheriff Serpentina. Ardemas. Welcome to both of you. I don't know what put you back out in the storm, but it is foolish to leave the sanctuary. The storm has been going for 4 weeks. What made you think it would end now?
What'd you say?
I whispered to Tina. I want to know how we got stuck in the storm.
Should we show him the amulet?
It belongs to them. Suppose it makes sense. Yeah, I'll say this magic. I pull out the amulet to show her. Took us outside.
She'll grab it and look at it. Het, your sigil of Het shattered. I am sorry. Has your god forsaken you?
It feels that way right now. But can it be fixed?
All things can be fixed with time. All wounds healed. Rachmet taught me that. He is the light, the healer. Have you forsaken Rachmet, and that is why you've left?
No. Not on purpose.
You are lost then.
Very much so.
Perhaps we should pray and find answers there.
If you think that will help.
Come,
I'm
we pray.
going to whisper to Tina. Tina, she wants us to pray.
But I can't see the moon.
That I think that's okay. I don't think they need it here.
No, but that's what I need. My god.
Maybe they have a moon. In the other room, she's taking us.
Where are we? What is this?
I don't know. Just go with it. Go along for now. You're our best chance of getting home.
So she's taking you into a small chamber. It's like 8 by 10. There's a few tables on each side. All of them have little amulets. Some of them are like little tools, hooks, claws. Some of them are more traditional idols. And she just sort of gestures to you, Tina, to a set of artifacts on the opposite wall, where I'll give you this one for free because you're from Mursa. they appear to be some of the old serpentine gods. They are Yuan-Ti gods that were not unheard of in Mursa. I know most Mersans did follow the Moon Maiden, but you would at least recognize that some of these are...
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are weirdly enough Yuan-Ti gods that they have the artifacts for. And she has grabbed an Ankh of Rakhmet that she is going to wield.
Grab a tool off the wall.
Just any of them. I don't know. Excellent. And then Jeff, do you have your broken amulet? Are you going to grab a different amulet? They have amulets of I'll say I'll give you this for free too because I gave it to Kelsey. They would have an amulet of Cobb, which is obviously Corellin. They've got Senusret, which is Garl Glitter Gold. Anubis, as I mentioned, Nerul Worship Tier. Jehuti, who is Moradin. Dedun, who is Joaquin. And then you are wielding a Hawhet amulet. That's the name they gave that one.
Does Hawhet have a modern equivalent?
You can give me a very hard Sage check.
Okay.
You can start it very hard, but it's not impossible to know.
Right.
If you have anything that'll make it easier for you.
I don't know. No, not with me. Okay, well, they think that the Hawhead amulet is what brought me here. That's what they think I am. And Corlon's, historically who I would follow, but I'm not super religious about it.
Oh, you mean Corellin?
Oh, is that how it's pronounced? I haven't been to church in a while.
Temporal dialects. That's how it used to be pronounced in the VR era.
I guess I'll just try and stick with the amulet I have, the Hawhead one.
Sure. Yeah. And she'll close her eyes, and she'll preface she'll sort of give the prayer an opening, which is, "Hear us, O holy powers. We are but extensions of your will. Let us know the path to tread to brighter days that lie ahead." And then she will be murmuring very, very quietly to herself. Clearly this must be some sort of personal prayer part.
I'm going to do the same thing with my amulet, if it seems like that's what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah, just sort of murmuring into it, yeah.
Being like, "Hey, Hawhead, I don't know who you are or what's going on or how I got here, but can you please help me out, bud?"
I'm just gonna be like, what tool did I grab?
Okay. We'll say it's we'll say that it's a Fang of Circuit. So it would be like an actual snake fang on a sort of stick. But then I guess you hold it upside down, so it's kind of like a little spear.
Like a knife?
Yeah,
Or spear.
exactly.
I'm drawing little things in the sand. Tina was here.
You're going to see that in Ta-Shadet in your time later.
I know, it's gonna freak her the fuck out.
Yeah. And as the prayers come to a close, there is a knock on the door, and a Yuan-Ti actually opens it. This one, but I don't know why he's so big. A Yuan-Ti will open the door, and he'll speak in the same Elvish tongue that, unfortunately, Tina is still not privy to. So Ardemas will have to play translator. But he is going to say, "Did you just pray for an end to the storms? And he's looking at the unnamed woman, and she nods. She says, "Yes, we almost lost another to the storms. Feeling forsaken, he went out into the wilds, and he came back only barely alive." And you hear him, Ardemas, he says, "The gods have answered your prayers. The storms are over. We are saved. We can once again leave."
Artemis, what's going on?
They said the storm stopped outside.
Wait, Artemis. Wait. After the storm comes the quake.
Yeah,
That's what your old self said to you.
I remember. Oh, I remember.
The two of them, the Yanti and the elf woman, have already begun to leave the room, both of them just jubilant, excited. And they start knocking on other doors and looking in, and you can hear the bustle of crowds sort of getting louder in the halls. As
Something about like a sedentary layer under a storm rock layer thing. I don't know. Something. Do you remember your
you can
old
make it
self
out
was telling you?
over the crowd, Artemis, the word is sort of spreading. "Rejoice! Rejoice! The storm is over! Everyone, let us go out and see the sun! Let us, everyone!" And crowds start to form. All of them sort of heading towards, one chamber, which you can imagine is probably an exit or another one of these drop.
We should stop them. I think. Or yes. Or
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the elf we met earlier, and it's like, wait, are you sure it's a good idea? It could be a false sense of security.
You catch her right at the edge of the hall, where it looks like they're about to go to some sort of exit. And we can throw down like I don't know, like 5 or 10 more people. You know, pretty large crowd has already started to come over there. And she'll stop, and she'll turn to you, and she's not going to open the door yet to let anybody out or to push anyone into the wilds or even whatever this is. And she'll say, "Wait, this one is a follower of Horhet. You have reason to pause."
Yes. I hold up the amulet, and they say, "Horhet spoke to me in my prayer."
Gasps everywhere.
He gave a prophecy. It said, "After the storm comes the quake."
That's nonsense, one of the Yanti chimes up. "That is nonsense. A major storms are not followed by major shakes. The two events are never found together." And there's more murmurs. "Well, maybe not." And his eyes are darting between him and you and him and you. And then once something with Tina too.
yes. What he said.
It's what Hardtech has spoken to me.
Yes.
"I have
If the
waited
gods say it.
4 weeks to see the sun! I need to feel it on my scales again!" And he turns and he opens the door, and when the door opens, it's not actually a physical door, but it's almost like a little golden shimmer of light, like foil, that he steps through, and he disappears.
No. I'll try to put myself there to stop more people from going. And,
Excellent. Give me a might check.
Well, that's gonna be a luck check.
It'll
Give me
be
a might check, Grandma.
Well, okay, it'll be a luck check.
I'm a grandma. I can't hold back nobody. Oh my god, it's people.
Did you really get it?
Literally,
Excellent.
Here, I can. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I believe you. Yeah, no, you push through the crowd, and you don't want anyone else leaving. You are so small.
I use that like mom strength, that grandma strength.
Exactly. And it does. It stops what was going to be maybe 2 or 3 people following that one snake's stride. And as you hold your position, and then there's sort of groans and moans and some complaints. What's going on? How do we know? This is crazy. False prophet. Suddenly, there is just the littlest bit of shaking. Oops. Yeah, apparently the earthquake hit me too. And the building that we are in, we can feel the tremors, even though it is high in the sky. Somehow, whatever is happening outside is quaking so hard that even this temple is shaking. And everybody is gasping and holding onto walls and trying to, find their feet. And this goes on for maybe it's only 45 seconds, but, with earthquakes, it feels like 5 minutes. And then it slowly comes to an end. And Ardemas, as soon as you feel it stopped and you get your feet back under you, you let go of some trident of some idol on the wall that you grabbed onto. You look, and everyone has kneeled to you.
Good going. Great going.
And Tina, I guess they're kneeling to you too, since you were helping out, right? So we'll say like two of them up front are kneeling to you, and most of them are kneeling to Ardemas.
I could get used to this. This is pretty cool.
Just I say to the group, you're welcome.
Our prophet, what is your name?
Oh.
Ardemas?
Ardemas. All hail! The prophet, Ardemas!
Uh-oh. I think they're worshiping you, Artemis.
I don't know. I've never been put in this situation before.
What other words have you heard, Ardemas, of what is to come? Tell us the future.
What I can tell you about the future.
Oh, they all gasp. Oh!
You ever heard of a city called Aladef?
Aladef. What is this Aladef?
It's a city where I'm from. It's constantly sinking. Which is a good thing but we are in a floating pyramid. It's tough to sink such a thing.
Prophet, please, if you will allow us, let us take you down to the ground where we have a place where we can describe your words. Whatever the ancient elvish word for cuneiform is, we can write your scenes of Aladef and give you the food of the gods to nourish your connection with Hohet. You and your companion.
Tina.
Her name's Tina.
Yes. Tina.
Alright, I'm gonna look I'll look at Tina and just be like, play along with this. Behave. Say, lead us there.
Behave.
Alright. So, they
I'm
will.
Very well behaved, Grandma.
You'll
You
find
agree this on the way down?
you'll find that the little portal, the gold foil portal on the outer wall of the pyramid that they step you through, is very similar to how you got up here. It's just sort of like a blink. It's almost like an unpolished form of teleportation, where you are expecting flourish and feeling and momentum and magic. It's almost like the world just kind of you blink and the world is now changed. You're not sure if that is indicative of incredibly powerful magic that does not even signal anything, or if it's indicative of really poor magic, like really unpolished magic. But it's certainly a form of teleportation that you are unfamiliar with. So when you walk through the portal, you're back to the ground, and then you are walked just slightly through the woods where the snow has already begun to melt, and there is a structure, an outpost they take you into. And I'll bring that back up for all of us to see. And we can put you in this chamber over here, our prophet lord. And crazy enough, when you walk into the room, one of the servants or laborers, slaves, whatever they are, Ta-Shadet is so undocumented it's anyone's guess. One of them, who is walking around and has a tray of what looks like sort of nuts and berries on it, appears to be old Ardemas. And he's sort of smirking as he sees you walked in, almost like on a palanquin, held up by the people of Ta-Shadet. And they'll sit you down, and a few of them will form a small circle sitting on the ground around you, Ardemas. And the older version of yourself leans over and offers you some nuts and berries.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll take some. I don't want to be rude.
And we'll say a young serpentine man, probably no older than like 18, is the closest to your feet, and he has big, bright, slit eyes, and he says, Aladef, what prosperity will come with the Aladef?
Well, you have a large river running underground there.
And I'll pause you there, because Artemis is going to, wax a little on Aladef. And Tina, you watch from the next chair over as Artemis is telling these stories of the future, which, I mean, it's your future too, technically. You don't know what Aladef is. But then something sinister seems to be taking place. He begins to tell this tale of Aladef and the sinking city, the same stuff he told you. When suddenly, Tina, you are thinking about sinking cities and your own sinking city of... Wow, what was the name of your sinking city, you think?
Versa?
You thought you knew it, but the more you're thinking about it, you don't actually... Oh, no, you must have remembered hearing somebody tell you about a sinking city, because from what you remember, you didn't come from a sinking city. You came from... you were part of those serpentine people who lived on the surface. Lived, just outside of the new Ta-Shadet. You remember, Ta-Shadet goes on for a while, a couple thousand years. It's prosperous, it builds up, it's bountiful, brings prosperity everywhere in Terrace around it. And you're from one of those surface cities of the snake folk that sort of spun out. The Pterrans. You remember being told stories as a kid of the Pterrans that would aggravate and try to go after the snake folk, but luckily, the wonderful informed people of Ta-Shadet were able to keep the raiders out. And and you weren't from a sinking city, no, but Aladef is a sinking city. It's a very interesting city to hear about.
Cities actually sink?
Yeah. So you soon find yourself sort of enraptured too with the Aladef story, but keep in the back of your mind just this tidbit there, Kelsey, that something is a little weird, but you're not quite sure what it is yet. And you finish your story of Aladef, Jeff. And they've all awed and oohed, and some of them have written this in the cuneiform stories of the sinking city and all of the money, the merchants who the mercanti who run the city, And it seems like it's going well. It's going well.
And there's this guy in the Bodega we share space with. He sells protein powder. And
eventually, yeah. Go ahead, Tina.
The city you're talking about, it's actually, is it actively sinking, or is it like...
Yeah, all the time. Like,
That's unheard of.
several feet a year, and they keep needing to build new floors, replace the ones that sunk into the ground.
Oh.
And you can, like, if you're an explorer or a treasure tracker, you can, like, go into the sunken parts of the city, and you can find stuff down there. Or, like, the thieves use it to traverse in secret.
How does it stay up? Like...
It doesn't. They just keep building.
No, but like,
Replace
how do
what's in.
the ones... Are the ones under the new ones even habitable after that?
People don't really live down there.
Yeah, I know, that's stupid. Why would anyone live underneath?
Kind of unsafe. Like, once it sinks, it's kind of unstable architecture at that point.
Yeah, there's no way you could live underground. That's stupid.
But why is it stupid? Isn't that where you're from?
No, I'm from Ta-Shadet. I'm from one of the, I'm
Satellite colonies.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those satellite colonies on the outer fringe.
Yeah, you know. My people.
Well, you were telling me about... I was telling you about where I'm from. You were telling me about Mersa and Lovich.
Our prophet is getting very tired. I can see it in his eyes. Let's give him some space. And the old version of you pulls out a fan and starts to sort of fan you off, Ardemas, and help you to your feet. And he says, luckily, I knew you guys were already coming ahead of time, so I made sure I set up a chamber for you. So we can get you off your feet. Let's get some rest. All right, everybody. We'll bring Artemis right back for more stories when he's rested. And that seems to weirdly appease the people. And you'll be in sort of this whirlwind of activity. You are ushered out, and Tina, no doubt, following tightly behind. And let's find the chamber. Let's put you all the way back in this little corner chamber away from everybody. And when he I'm like, I wanted to say shut the door, but I don't know if ancient Egyptian cities even had doors. When he closes the beaded curtain behind him,
Those are all hippies.
Yeah, exactly. He'll look at you with almost sort of a glint in his eye, Artemis. He'll say, "So how'd it feel? Just your first
Awkward.
taste of what's to come. They love you. You can help them."
But okay, something is wrong here. On it, why can't Tina remember where she's from? Like, I don't think I misremembered what she said.
Don't think too hard about it. Don't think too hard about it. You probably didn't misremember what she said. But whatever happens, I need you to remember this. How many people would have died going out into that quake if you hadn't stopped them? And how many people would die to the droughts that you can warn them about? How many people in the floods that destroy thousands across these lands? How many of them would be lost to time if not for us? If not for you? If not for me?
So we're like actively changing things. We're changing the future here.
Tina, as the two Artemises are talking, you can feel that almost like a rubber band in your head. That uneasiness is being pulled, stretched. You can feel the uneasiness. And you, for a last few flickering seconds, you have those memories of Tilly, of Jean, of all your friends who you made when you went to the... No, not when you went to the surface, when you went out of the town to go explore other towns. And that memory of them is only there for a heartwarming second before the rubber band snaps, and they're all replaced with different memories, different people who lived there at the time that you went and explored a different adventure that was had, one that did not take you out to Ta-Shadet, unless you were just taking them home to visit family. And I'll let the two of you, Jeff and Kelsey, know that I have a list here. I won't tell you how long it is. I just call it the Tina memory loss tree. And at the very bottom of this list is Brendan Fraser.
The split of my mind and then my eardrum.
And so, we are effectively now on a ticking timer, which can result in the erasure of the Fraser.
All that effort to bring him back, just to lose him again, on a one fell swoop.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
The whole Fraser family tree.
Just picturing like little balloons popping on the edge of the tree, and they're all slowly growing to the center. So, again, when it snaps, that uneasiness sticks in your head, Tina. Like, you can feel something's weird. It's the Marty McFly sense of uneasiness. You're not quite seeing your hands disappear, but you can tell something's up. Like almost like a little mini panic attack. And meanwhile, you know, when you look ahead again, you just catch the tail end of that conversation they just said, where Artemis said something about forgetting, and older Artemis says, yeah, things might change a little, but that's because you and we remember a worse world. We remember a world where Ta-Shadet didn't succeed and prevail. It didn't have our guidance.
You know, change, they say, is inevitable, and old people really have a problem with it. You know, they say old people never like change, and I'll tell you why. It's because we have so many, like, you know, memories and ideas of how the world worked back when we were exploring it and stuff, you know? Crazy how, like, you know, change, you can't stop change. Change is change. Change. Wow.
Are you all right?
Change is like, you know, my thumb. I have.
Look.
Anyways, this has been fantastic. I mean, look at this place. It's my home. Man, never looked better. Gosh, good to be home.
It's okay, Artemis. This stray that you picked up, this is supposed to happen. Tina here, she is a brilliant tactician. She is smart and quick on the trigger. There will be doubters. There will be people who don't believe that you can do it. And Tina is going to come to be your closest ally. She knows the future too. They're going to come to worship her like they will you. She'll be your royal vizier. Do you remember how they said back in our memories that the last pharaoh of Ta-Shadet was Queen Meridamen and her vizier, Arianka? It's the only pharaoh they really found in history. That's gonna be you and Tina. you guys are going to go down in history. We're going to go down in history, and millions will be saved eventually.
You know, what is history? Who likes history? History's all about remembering things, and, to heck with that, I say, Yeesh.
That's the snap where suddenly Tina's forgotten the town of Brightwater. It's not Brightwater anymore. Something else has popped up there. Something more prosperous. Probably even green.
Oh, yeah, totally. What is sand? What is sand?
It's coarse and gets everywhere. Look, Ardemas, I understand what you're saying. Like, where Tina comes from, they weren't exactly being respectful of the Ta-Shadet stuff. But
What do you mean? I am from Ta-Shadet. I would always be respectful of Ta-Shadet.
That's right. Damn straight. Always be respectful to Ta-Shadet. That's where you come from, Tina? That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna return this idol I stole from the room.
Oops. Look, it's
I
fine.
respect it that much.
She's going to have a better life. Her people were underground. They don't have to hide from the natural predators in the sun and the green. They will live on the surface and they will grow everywhere. The serpentine people, they don't become what they became to us.
Lickety snakes living on the surface.
okay, look, I understand the impulse to save a lot of people, but it has an effect. If we save these people, then lots of other people could cease to exist.
Yeah, it has. Of course, it has an effect. It's the butterfly effect. That's what it's called.
I had a friend once that could change. Huh. I thought I had a friend. Nah, I'm just being stupid.
Look, Artemis, how did you even get here? Like, if you're the older version of me, then why are we existing in the same time right now?
Be your daddy.
I come from the future, the good future. And that future, it will be lost. I could feel it, that something had gone wrong. And I think it's because you would have died in the snow. When I came back, thousands of years ago, I didn't die in the snow. And I don't know why you did, but I think it was my destiny to come back and make sure you didn't die, because the timeline we're from, that's the bad ending.
Look, you can bring people back. I had a really good friend. His name was Brendan Fraser. And our whole journey was about bringing him back to life.
Nobody cares about Brendan Fraser!
Tina, at that one, her entire countenance, even you, Artemis, can tell, like, she becomes super serious. Suddenly, she doesn't seem quite as old anymore and quite as granny-like. She's like, and she'll say to old Artemis, "Do not ill Brendan Fraser in my presence. Me and my..." Well, I certainly have high regard of it. And I went to I think I went to...
Look, something's wrong with your Tina, too. I don't remember Tina ever being like this to me. I don't know why she's acting up, but you need to get her straight. Okay? She's going to be essential. If she's not there, in 4 years, there's an uprising. There's a pharaoh. His name's Amun-Her-Khepeshef. He's going to try to take control. And if you don't have Tina, he could win. She saved my life. She will save yours. Whatever's happening to her right now, you gotta get it under control.
Boop.
Look, I didn't ask to be a pharaoh, man. I'm just an archivist. How did we get home from here? That's what I really want to find out. You said you came from the good timeline.
There's no going back. The amulet only goes in one direction. He pulls it out. He's got one, of course, too, because of course he's you. And he'll show you. I can pull up the imagery. You know, he will demonstrate, or I guess he'll just point to it. And he'll show you like, it's only half. It's only half an hourglass, which means time only goes in one direction. I could come back here from the thousands of years of the future I came from, the thousands of years I lived and saw the good ending. But I'm not going to even live old enough to go back to that. I'm going to die before I even see the people I knew back there. Because it's the price I'm willing to pay to keep you alive and that future going.
Hey, Ardemas, can I talk to you?
Any other Ardemas?
Yeah, both of them look at you.
My Ardemas?
I say to old Ardemas, give us a second. I'll see what I can do with her.
Say your goodbyes to whoever you knew, because when time takes its ripple, she's going to be a new Tina, and she's going to be the perfect Tina for the job.
Okay, I'm just going to shake my head and go off to talk to Tina in the corner, because
I don't know. Something's not right about this guy. Because now I'm old, so it might just be my age. But if you come back to the past claiming you're from the good future, but he's futured you, that's traveled backwards, wouldn't that mean his future is bad, so he might be trying to sabotage yours? To make it good, but he'll never get to see his future because he is sacrificing himself to make that better.
What?
You know what?
Why don't you draw a picture in the ground with the saber again?
Okay, alright, look. Ardemas, I am way out of my depth here. I've lived a very long life, and I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world. And if you can get us back home, well, if anyone can get us back home, it's gonna be you.
Why does it have to be me?
I think as the rubber band of like losing Brightwater and like my whole identity as sheriff, just before that snaps, I'll pull off my sheriff. I'll grab my sheriff pin and hand it to him and say, "You gotta get us out of here, sheriff." Oh, this is a really nice badge. What is this?
Nice. Excellent. And that is worth a buddy point. We're back in the positives.
Okay, I take the badge.
Is this yours? Oh, yeah, sorry. My bad. It was just shiny. It looked old. Needs some polishing.
I'm holding on to this for you. We're gonna get out of this.
You're very smart and very resourceful. I'm sure we will.
Okay. We're gonna go back into the room. You too, Tina. Have another talk with Ardemas.
Okie dokie. I'll follow your lead. Sharif? Okay.
You know, you don't have to make Tina. It's a choice. We can make Tina dumb. We can say in the alternate timeline there's no formal education, and Tina is certainly.
Well, I think she's incredibly confused because she's losing
okay.
an old person.
Yeah.
All she has is her memories, and so when these rubber bands are
yeah.
snapping, it's like breaking certain
Yeah.
neurons that were in, like breaking neurons that are no longer connected. In
That
the
checks
brain.
out. I like that. I like the direction you're taking it then. The idea that everything's falling apart before it can be reassembled and we meet this complete stranger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so you follow Artemis back into the other room. And you see old Artemis is just sort of snacking on this tray of berries that he's had waiting for you.
Ooh, let me get some of those.
He tries to toss one into your mouth to catch it. Are you ready
Okay, Artemis.
to be a pharaoh god? What is it?
You know the thing about being an archivist and having a love for history is that I like history exactly the way it was. And I want to go home. I want to take Tina home and set this all straight. And I need you to help me figure out how to make this amulet turn the other way. Or we're going to have a problem.
And you are going to roll for me your first ranged conflict roll of the day. So, personality, which is the sort of persuasion battle. It's in Swords of the Serpentine. There's the whole thing where you fight with words. You can just damage morale. That is a ranged trait, which means any sort of combat by words or combat by persuasion would be a ranged conflict because you're doing it at a distance. So you're going to pick any of your ranged abilities, which includes agility, personality, and hunt. If you have any of those. Do you have any of those, Artemis?
Yeah, I got agility.
Excellent. So you will be rolling, you're going to start at medium, and you're going to, if you have anything that is, so in this case for agility, it's not necessarily that like you're trying to stab him and you're fast. It can be about quick wits. It can be about thinking quickly. It can be about formulating a plot, just being fast and being first to the trigger to try to turn the situation in your favor. If you have anything on your sheet, baggage-wise, etc.-wise, cliche-wise, you'll be able to try to roll more than him. I am rolling Old Artemis, however, as one of the higher level enemies, which means I'm going to roll my 6, and I am going to get a success on 1s, 2s, and 3s. So you'll need to get 3 successes minimum to even match him with your ranged conflict.
Can't just shoot him, can I?
It's not going to work.
You can if you want, but right now nobody's drawing arms yet. You're just watching them ethical off.
Mm-hmm.
Ethics off.
Yeah.
Okay, this is we're starting with a
Start
what
at
roll?
medium. Start at medium, just like any other skill, and then if you have anything that makes it go up to 6, you can. You would need 3 successes or a proc.
I mean, yeah, my academic reputation is good baggage.
That's probably applicable here, considering this is... You would not be a scholar, right? Your entire academic career is gone. You would be remembered, not as an archivist, but as a god pharaoh. So if that reputation's important to you and that's what you want to preserve, that would be what you're defending, and thus would give you something to fight harder for. Yeah, no promises. You still need 3 successes, but it would at least get you up to 6 dice.
Yeah, I think that's all I would apply in this case. Unless the cape counts. Also, I got a cool cape. It's an adage to any roll. Damn, that is not going to do it.
Any successes? 1, 2?
I got 1 success.
1 success? Not enough. You go for it. You tell him that you want to preserve history. And he says, good. Lean into it. That selfishness is going to serve you well as Pharaoh. You cannot be selfless if you are to rule these people into a brighter future. I know what you feel. I understand it. But your reputation, your old life, it happened. It's over. You have a world to save. You alone can save Quelmar.
You know, speaking from the old age side of things, I will say...
I am going to pause you before. Think on that real fast, because I'm going to make my conflict attack. This is basically his turn.
Okay.
And then we'll
okay. I apologize.
So I'm going to try again. I'm now doing an attack on you. Oops, there we go. And you'll do the same thing. Basically, you can use agility again. I got 1, 2, 3 successes. If you can defend against this by getting 3, you'll be fine. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a wound. And obviously that wound will, affect your morale and your ability to think this through as a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah, of course. Nope.
So close. So take a wound.
Okay. Wait, how many successes did he get?
He got 3. If you get 3, you defend successfully.
Yeah, I got 1.
Okay. Yeah.
So
take
I'll take a wound.
His words do ring true. It does feel kind of selfish. You always wished that there was more about Ta-Shadet. You remember, 1,000 years from now, this society does fall, and the remnants of it are being turned into coasters at shoddy taverns. Are those people, they did live lives, and in that timeline, surely they'll have lived their lives, but that's not... Is that what's worth saving? Is that what's worth defending? I don't know. It starts to get murkier in your head, and let's take it over to Kelsey. You can see the 2 Ardemases, nose to nose, debating this weird idea of history and preservation and memories and...
Just, I guess from my experience, Ardemas, history is important, record and acknowledge. It's also incredibly twisted and always written by normally those who survive. So, but we always have to think of the consequences, right? Because, if something didn't happen, if one little thing, then, how do we prevent from, me being born, or you being born, right?
Yeah, you're right. I so badly want to do the right thing here.
Well, you got the badge. You can decide. You're the savior, right? Is he bothering you? I can make him leave if you want.
Okay. What is the first step to being a pharaoh?
Good. I knew you'd come around. The first step is to wait for Tina's here, her mind, to go. And when it goes, she will know Ta-Shadet's history. She'll know, at that point, a lot of what we know is not as useful. We'll still know all of the natural disasters, everything that would still happen no matter what the people do. But in order to know who the next leaders or rulers or the best places to set up societies, construct buildings, find foliage, Tina will know a lot of that, and she'll be key to setting these people in the right direction on the good future. Until then, you can keep telling them stories about Aladeth. I don't even know if Aladeth survives or if it even exists in the new future we set. You gotta understand, from where I come from, I barely even made it to see the beginning of the Holy War. But I imagine once Tiamat comes back and attacks the realm, Ta-Shadet, the new societies, all the goodness we've done will make that war end sooner and for the better.
Could change who the victor is. Make it the people we want to win.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
We're choosing a side.
Exactly.
You said that you need to be ruthless to be a pharaoh, right?
That's right. Don't tell me you're getting weak on this Tina. You haven't even met this Tina for very long. Look at her. She's already that Tina.
I've lived my life.
That's right. See, she's given herself away. She knows her life is over to be replaced with a new life.
Wait, to be replaced? No, that's all I have. I've lived my life. All I have left is my memory. What? Wait, I'm being replaced?
He'll realize that he may have said something too soon before Tina's mind had gone all the way out. And I'll start another round, so we'll all get a chance to do something, but I'll start it this time. And I'll have him use his, spirit powers, spirit sight powers, ghost field powers, whatever you want to call them. He's going to see Tina starting to crack and realize some stuff she shouldn't be realizing. He'll put a hand out, and you'll see two jackal-faced ghosts sort of come out of the floor, and each one will grab Tina's wrists and pin her to the wall. And he'll say, "Don't worry, you'll learn that trick pretty soon. It only took maybe 10 years.
What?
There's a lot of buried under here."
This is not okay.
Look, just calm down, Tina. Calm down. It's all gonna be fine. I know this is scary. But you're gonna have a new life. And you're going to love it.
No! I had a life. I lived my life and I loved it.
You didn't live a life. What was with the old life? I saw your town. You lived in a shanty on the edge of disaster, in a desert, hoarding.
Exactly. It was a symbol of hope to any passerby that there was people here who could care for them. Wait.
You know what's a symbol of hope? The ship, Tina. The ship, and you threw it. You threw it and it cracked. Be gone, your old ways. Learn some respect when you are part of Ta-Shadet. And that's my turn. I will take I'm going to do a supernatural attack on Tina, and we'll see if this wounds Tina. We're going to start with...
Yeah, I'm listening. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm just going to roll the attack real fast, which is 66. What did I get? 1, 2, 2. I only got 2 successes. So, Tina, you can pick any of your supernatural powers. That includes occult, I think maybe sage. Sage, occult, predisposed, and technopathy. Do you have any of those?
I have none of those.
Yeah, so Tina fighting magic is not great. She is not in her wheelhouse when it comes to something like
I feel like in her older age, the magic side, the Stormkeeper range, the only thing that stayed is like the relationship with her Scorpion.
Like the friendship, not necessarily the
weaponizing. But I took it out.
Yeah.
I took it out with vitality in that,
Yeah.
James.
Yeah, sorry, Craig. It sounds like maybe she swapped her predisposed.
Oh no, I do have predisposed. I do.
Oh, you do? I said that. I said predisposed.
I know you did. I thought I took it out.
All right, so the odds are in your favor now. So instead of rolling 2d6, you'll still be rolling. I guess it could be 66 because if you have your ranger powers listed on your sheet, if you've written down any of your magic ranger stuff.
I do. I have like all my like some of my equipment with me, and I do have my proc.
The scorpions. Yeah, that's true. The proc can always be used for an auto success. You guys are both hanging on tight to those procs. But yeah, so 6. So you're gonna roll 6, and you're aiming for predisposed. You're gonna do. So you need 2 successes.
No successes.
Yeah, no, you weren't ready. As prepared as you could be, or as much as you could have seen this coming, you did not. And you find yourself pinned to the wall, your mind still shattering. Go ahead and take a wound, and we're going to kick it over to Jeff. And then we'll go to Kelsey. All right, Jeff, in case you missed it, all that really happened, right, he pulled out his Danny Phantom powers, pinned Tina to the wall, trying to hold her down until her mind is lost, and she becomes the perfect Tina. You know, there is certainly a sense here that the future you is, you know, the God Pharaoh. It's kind of gone to his head. But you have made your decision, presumably, right? You just need to wait for Tina to change, and then you'll have your vizier, and you will be on the path to a brighter future. Is there anything you wanted to do here? Otherwise, then I can always just kick it back over to Kelsey while you wait.
Do I really think it's brighter? I have to say, I'll say, okay, Ardemas. I need to be ruthless as a pharaoh. I can be ruthless.
Good.
Starting with you. I'm gonna pull out my pistol.
All right. You're gonna go ahead and give me. You'll give me either a proc or a ranged attack.
Okay, we'll do. Oh shoot! What was agility? Is that range?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was range. Okay, we'll do. Yeah, I'll do a range attack.
Excellent. Since you presumably have your gun listed on your sheet, it'll automatically go up to 6.
I do.
Because it'll start at medium. You'll look at your sheet. You'll see gun. It applies. Goes to 6. And how many agilities do you?
Yeah, because if I'm gonna be pharaoh, I don't really need you around, do I? Okay, I. 5, 1, 2. Six dice. I rolled 1. I rolled 1 agility.
All right. Let's see. You know,
Holy
we
shit!
talked about how Artemis is very prepared. That applies to future Artemis too. Future Artemis is very prepared. Let's see if he was prepared for you to make this choice. 1, 1, 1. I got 3 successes.
Damn.
He knew that he came to the pass with a gun. He was once in your shoes. And you pull out the gun. You may even fire it, presumably because you're making the attack. But when the smoke clears, he has stepped aside. You've missed. There's just a hole in the sandstone behind him. And I already took my turn. That was your turn, so we're over to Kelsey. Kelsey, Artemis is fighting back. He's just fired a gun at the other Artemis's head. For some reason, all it took was this attack and the ghosts, and suddenly it
I
seems
think
like
with
we're
my
against
memories slowly being taken away and new ones trying to form into places, one memory that is kind of sticking is that, Artemis, at least my Artemis is my friend and on my side, and so if my friends are in trouble, I always stick by them. And if Artemis is shooting at this person, that I don't know. Tina, while old Tina is slowly losing certain memories, I think she kind of goes into that state where when old Ardemas insulted Brendan Fraser, she kind of snaps back into regular Tina again and pulls out her proc and shoots him. It auto hits.
Nice! Excellent. So go ahead and set off that proc. And we are going to mark a wound on Ardemas. This is his first wound, but just like you guys, he's got a number of wounds. I won't tell you if he's got 6 like you or if he's got less. Sort of like how you don't tell people the HP of a monster. But, yeah, that fires off. You are the sharpshooter indeed. And you have no idea what just happened to Ardemas, but when you look over, Tina has somehow pulled her way out of these ghosts. And, I mean, do you want to describe the badass scene that Ardemas sees when he looks over and he sees you liberated and firing?
Yeah, I think, like, when the ghost pushed me back against the wall, my hat fell into the floor, and, because I have a sheriff hat, and, I kind of, as soon as I see Ardemas fire at him, I'll, like, try and kind of, like, almost dislocate my wrists and slide out of the grits. And then I, like, recock them, pull my pistol, and shoot. And as the smoke clears, I'm putting my hat back on, and I say, "You don't mess the sheriff."
And you see Ardemas. He slams into the wall behind him where the bullet hole was, and he is an old elf. So when he hits the wall, he sort of slides down to his knees, but he's not dead yet. He sort of scrambles a little bit backwards. He says, "This is fine. This is fine. You win. You win. Don't worry, Tina. And he starts to speak very slowly.
He's stolen!
Yeah, you say that, and he's gonna turn around and start to run backwards through the next room, up sort of a half flight of stairs.
I go after him. I'll run after him.
You're chasing
Do you want
after
me to
him.
roll agility or something? Hunt?
No, you don't have to
Let's
catch
do
up.
it.
I mean, he's an old man. Come on, he's
He's an old lady.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Okay, so we'll just say both of them are going as fast as they can, and that's half as fast as you, Ardemas.
This is a comedic easier chase.
Yeah. If
No,
it weren't
never
for the
mind
fact
the
that the
fact,
entire fate of the world is at stake, I would be playing.
That and, like, my memories, that's all old people have, James, is their memories, and you're taking them from me.
That's true. And when we're all
Set
old, all we'll have
Get
is
in the
this
chat.
memories
I'm
of
being
this
set up.
game. So, Tina, take your turn. Go ahead. I took my turn to just run and burn time.
Yeah, I will shoot at him again.
You don't have the proc.
Yeah.
So you'll just have to base on hoping that you get a bunch of dice, but that's 66.
Yep. And is this agility or?
This would be
hunt?
whatever any ranged ability you have. So that would be agility or personality or hunt.
So I have 2 agility, 2 hunt, and 1 personality.
5 of your 6 are. No wonder you don't have any supernatural powers. 5 of your 6 are ranged based. So in this matter, you get to choose which one you want to roll. So
Okay.
You'll get to choose
I'll do
hunt or agility.
Yeah. I think I'll do hunt. Or no, I'll do agility.
Okay, so you're fishing for agilities.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
That's gonna be hard to beat. Let's see if he's got it. 1, 2s, and 3s. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he match, which means that he does not take the damage. But I mean, basically, it does. I was gonna say it's like a less miss, but this system doesn't really have like half miss or not. So, so you fire off another shot as you're chasing him down the hall, but this one just sort of goes right over his head. Maybe he ducks down. He can hear you coming. He's ready. Remember what we said at the top of the stream, everyone. Ardemas is prepared.
Except me, I'm not
my
prepared.
memories here. Come on.
And so let's kick it over to Jeff. Let's see what you got, young Ardemas.
Okay, I'm going to also give chase, hopefully a little faster, because I'm substantially younger. I'll try and catch up.
2 old geezers and a youngling.
And I'm going to try and shoot from range 2 with my gun.
Yep.
Be like, you think we're the same, but you're not me. You will never be me. And I'll never be you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, these rolls. How did I roll?
How many agilities?
0. I didn't roll a single agility. I rolled all 1s and 2s.
That's an impressive check if you were rolling a 1 or a 2, whatever those skills are.
Glad I rolled all those doubles earlier today.
It's all the luck. We've burned through it, folks. We've been burning through it. So
Back to status quo.
yes. So, fire. You guys are just firing and firing and firing off, chasing him. And he is going to take a turn, and he's going to make it. Put him in this room here. I'll put him in this room down here. So he turns and he heads right and he starts heading back towards where all the people are. And when he turns around, let's see what I've got here for him. Let's do. This is going to be another supernatural thing. And young Artemis was leading, so I'll have this against Jeff. He is going to put up effectively a portal into the spirit field, the same way that you would take people into the spirit field. But he's going to summon it basically right in front of you for your momentum to slip into it. And so I'm going to do my supernatural. And you're going to have to do a opposing supernatural. I got 1, 2, 3. So you'll need 3 successes on a supernatural ability.
Oh boy. Where most of my wound is. Supernatural. Wait, how many am I rolling?
It would be 6.
B6, okay. Yeah, it's another 0.
All right, mark wound. You are chasing him. You
Oh my
turn
God.
the corner. You step through the archway, and the next thing you know, you look down at your hands, and it's as if you just put yourself in the spirit field. You've done this all the time. He just channeled his spirit sight on you, which is rude. And also kind of
Offensive.
interesting. I don't know if you've ever thought about doing that to anyone, but it's a nice trick to pick up and get out of here alive. We'll just take it to Kelsey because she's still on this plane of existence. Right in front of you, you see Jeff disappear as if he's just been teleported or something. So you run ahead, and you can see the wizard is still on the chase.
I'd like to go at him again, but this time I'm gonna unwrap my oath bow. So, I think while I'm running, I'm like, I don't know what this is. No, what is a gun? But I know what a bow is, and I'm gonna try and shoot it with my oath bow because I can kind of feel my memories being ripped apart. And this oath bow was given to me by my goddess Moon, so I'm like trying to physically hold on to my memories now because I'm finally aware that they're being taken away. I think.
Yeah, let's get the attack. I think that all checks out.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes,
Jesus.
5 this time.
No way. Holy crap. It's not impossible. We just saw Jeff roll all those 1s and 2s. So if you do that on a skill you
I
actually have
got
the numbers for.
1, 1,
Yeah.
3, 3. Yeah, and 3 3s, yeah. I got, 2 1s and 3 3s.
Do the math.
Well, because I
Sorry,
said
Cal.
1 and 1. I did 1 and 1.
Kels, I did get 5. It was 2
I'm
1
sure,
2 1
yeah.
3.
Sure, yeah.
Hey, I roll all mine publicly. Everybody
I know,
just
I
saw
know.
that happen
Yeah.
on the stream.
Yeah, no, I believe you.
2 1 2 1 5, or 2 and 2 and 3. So 5 successes. So you fire off with the rage of a dying soul, the rage of a wilting timeline branch. But it's not enough for the god pharaoh. I mean, he's a god pharaoh. What did you expect? He's so
Absolutely,
powerful. And Jeff, I'll give you the spirit sight for free because we know you can do it. So you can step out of the spirits field, but you will be lagging behind. When you come back out, you can see that Tina's up ahead and they've moved on to the next chamber. They've almost gotten back to the crowd. And once he's back to the crowd, God knows what'll happen.
I don't want to be a pharaoh, Mom. Okay, well, this seems like as good a time as ever to use my proc, which is getting spirits to cooperate.
Ooh, hey, that's almost kind of like what he did to Tina, pulling the ghosts into his alliance. So how does it manifest? What do you do? What do you do to him? It's a proc, so it's like a plot point. Whatever you do, it will succeed. Whatever you're trying to do, you don't need to roll for it.
I'm trying to summon some ghosts to help me secure him and stop him from going into that room.
Just
And
the same trick that he taught you, yeah.
yeah, he said it'd take 10 years. I'm doing it right now.
Ooh, you're already changing the future. All right, then in that case, no need to roll anything. It's a proc. He's about to enter that last door when suddenly more of these spirits, you know, maybe there's a jackal-headed one and a scorpion-headed one and a dog-headed one. You know, they've all got these strange forms in the afterlife here in Ta-Shadet. But they all rise out of the ground, just like the ones that took Tina, and they all get him by the arms, and he's shaken. I mean, he's stopped and he turns over his shoulder. He says, "No, that's impossible. You can't do that. I never knew how to do that. They taught me how to do that here in Ta-Shadet."
Well, I guess I'm a fast learner. And also, we're not the same.
House.
I will give him the second wound. He's got 2. So if the aim here is to kill him, we are quickly approaching that point. But he is restrained. I will say that he is totally restrained right now. So because we just finished another round, I'll take us sort of out of rounds. I'll let the two of you step in and roleplay if you want while he's restrained. But then if anybody takes dramatic action, we can step to more conflict roles.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Ardemas, I'll be real. I kind of just want to go home, but I'm compelled to say that this is my home.
I think things will be a lot clearer if we take him out.
I mean, like, sleeping with the fishes kind of deal.
Sleeping with the spirits.
Ooh, because you guys can give us.
Yeah.
That's weird. Alright, well, you haven't led me astray this far, and we seem like pals. I'll follow your lead.
Wait, no. Don't do it. If you kill me, I'll never tell you how to get home. You'll never know.
both of you being here is the issue.
So you didn't know how to get home. I'm inclined to believe the man is not desperate.
Give me a personality check. Whoever here has personality. Guys, do you have personality?
I got 0 personality.
I have personality.
Tina's got a personality. All right, give me a medium personality check.
Oodles and noodles.
That's a 2!
Yeah, no, he's definitely lying. In that he knows how to, or he can get us home. You know, if he did know, he doesn't have a way to do it, and if he has a way to do it, he probably doesn't know what it is.
You know, for someone who's supposed to be so smart, so aged, so wise, really bad at lying.
Maybe. But, well, what's that on your shoulder, Tina?
He's lying.
You feel something on your shoulder, Tina. And, Jeff, Ardemas, young Ardemas, when you look over at Tina, you can see that she is physically changing. The last step of the transformation, she is becoming a different form of Yuan Ti, a superior form. A type of Yuan Ti known as an anathema. They are the most powerful of the Yuan Tis. And apparently, in whatever timeline is being set forward here, Tina is, and maybe more than Tina, and Tina, actually I could just tell Tina, because Tina would know the memories of the old past. You know, the anathema are, you know, the superior race. They are what all Yuan Ti become. So instead of hiding in caves underground, the Mercen people no longer even have to become the Mercens. They are the Serpentine superior. They all go through the process and have grown into anathemas. They all have magical innate powers, some precognition, some holy elements to them. I mean, you are, if you're curious, we could say, like, in the D&D world, the anathema is like a CR-14 monster. It is a powerhouse of a creature, and all of the Yuan Ti across Terrace grow into them now in this timeline. They all become so powerful and smart and brilliant, they can, you know, it's, and at that point, that transformation is also probably the last snap of the Fraser band, Tina. When everything grows out of you and you finally shift and change forms, all you remember now at this point was, you know, living in some much nicer town in a groved forest in the Terrace Plains, with brilliant, you know, lush waterfalls that kept the people happy, and all of these, you know, serpentine people who have claimed the land for themselves. Not in an evil way, not like they're slave herders or anything, but it's like it is their promised land. And then that's when, you know, Ardemas showed up in your backyard one day. He had these strange artifacts, and you followed him with the artifacts. He activated it somehow. It took you guys back into the past, and you remember that he was becoming worshipped and powerful, and you realize, you know, oh my god, maybe Ardemas is the reason that Ta-Shadet becomes so successful, and it becomes the utopia of the future. And you get to become a puzzle piece, a part of making that future possible. But everything's still a little foggy. You're still kind of coming out of this, because you're not sure where this old man comes into play. You don't remember an old man. But you do see Ardemas there, and it seems like he's taking the first steps, maybe eliminating any heretics or something, because he's got a gun, and he's looking at the old man.
Oh, yeah.
And,
is this guy bothering you? You know, bodyguard style.
I have a question, Serpentina. When Serpentina of this timeline talks, is it one head, or is it like they all talk at once?
I think they take turns. Like, different personalities.
Yeah, great.
this guy bothering you?
No, I can handle it.
Alright. I'll be cool. But if he makes a move against you,
Back me up. I'm gonna go to the old Ardemas with my gun. Okay. You came back. You saved me. You served your purpose. You're dismissed. I'm gonna try and shoot at him again.
I don't think you need to roll, because I was going to make this an easy, because you guys had restrained him. So if it starts at easy, and you make it go up from there, if you look on your sheet, you'll notice that there is actually a level you can get it to that's above easy. And it
trivial.
is the trivial level. You don't even have to roll. It is too easy to kill an old man you are holding with ghosts at point blank range. So, Ardemas, you fire and you kill yourself. His body goes limp, and the amulet spirals out from his coat pocket off through the ground, and it lands at your foot.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, it's the same one. It looks considerably older, thousands of years older, but it's definitely the one you picked up all those years ago. Or he would have picked up all those years ago. Oh, time is weird.
Okay, I'm finagling with him, seeing if it somehow fits into the pin that I have. If you have two of them, you could reverse the effect.
And weirdly enough, it does look like where it shattered was right down that center line of the hourglass. And when you take the two of them and you flip one backwards and around, you wind up with something like this. And you see it, the wings of the bird, of the creature, of the dragon, whatever it is, and the hourglass at the center of it all. And you can feel the resonating that your own has been begging, pleading, crying to be completed. It stops. And an attunement occurs. You suddenly feel like you understand the artifact. You understand what it does. It's a compass. It's a ship. It's a navigator. It's a traveler. Traveler of time. Forwards and backwards.
Okay, so it seems like time has already been changed. Though. Artemis is thinking about, okay, if we went forwards in time, we'd be just going forwards into the new timeline. Wouldn't we? Maybe not.
how did Ardemas move? The thing I don't understand is how are there two instances of Ardemas in one timeline?
Oh, because Artemis went back in time and then lived for 2,000 years and then used the artifact again to move backwards in time again. He was also stuck here. He's the sacrifice he was willing to make.
So do we have to now live 2,000? I can't live 2,000, but you can live 2,000 years.
I wonder if
no, we can go back.
It's possible you might be able to, Kelsey, now that you're an anathema. But that's trivial. That's beside the point.
Do I get the sense going back forward in time would not fix this now? She is fully changed.
You don't have any sense. You are not a time traveler. You are just a holder of a tool, and you have nothing but your own wits and sagely wisdom to make the theories you want.
Sort of break it?
No.
You want to throw
This
it
is our only way back.
across the tavern table?
You
It
just,
could be like one of those things where we're in a nightmare and you need to, break it to like break the spell.
this isn't a spell. This is like time travel.
It's a spell.
Yeah, it's a spell. You're right. You're so right. You got me. I don't think that traveling forward in time is going to fix this. I think we may need to stick around and wait for an opportunity to set things right.
James, I don't know if I'm allowed to remember, but if Tina and... Would it be incorrect for Tina to suggest we go back in time to when previous Tina and Ardemas were first? So remember when old Ardemas stopped us in the snow forest, and then
Sure.
told us about
I remember,
stopping-
Kelsey remembers, and Artemis remembers, but I don't think Tina remembers.
Okay.
I think Tina, like I said, Tina's memories get
Oh.
messy after arriving
Sure.
in Ta-Shadet.
Okay, great.
Which is why
Okay.
when you saw the old man and the gun at his head, you were like, is he bothering you? Because I don't really remember him right now.
Right. Okay,
Um,
got it.
yeah.
That's right. We can't go forwards in time. You said Artemis remembers us.
Yes.
So we could go back in time. We could go to when we first arrived here and stop old Mia from ever intercepting us.
Sure.
Where would I bring me? There'd be two me. It's so weird. I'm so confused. No, if I did that, then I'd be affecting the current timeline on it, where we ended up here. We never arrive here, and we'd never get the thing that could take us back forward in time. I've seen Back to the Future. I know how this works.
Here seems like a cool place. We all worship you here.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, Tina, if he's just unlocked the power of time travel, if he just stole the power of time travel from this old man or whatever the hell just happened, then that would make sense that he would be able to lead Ta-Shadet into the most prosperous utopia. He'd be able to know and avert anything bad that's going to happen. He'd be able to rewind if bad stuff happened and try again. You're looking at a god incarnate here, the one that will... So it makes sense to you that this just happened. Like, these are the first steps of that future that you get to help usher in. Or maybe, alternatively, if I may propose, he's problematic, and maybe this was your fate to come here and stop him, and then only you know how to usher Ta-Shadet into the... Well, maybe, I don't know. It's, again...
You're stroking the chaos gremlin.
Yeah, these events have been thrust onto you the way you want to interpret them. All you know is that you must be here for a reason, both of you.
Well, I think my memories, the ones that are associated with Artemis, are that we're friends, or at least there's some sort of nice relationship between us.
Yeah.
I'm like your buddy cop. I got your back.
We have to know what we're doing is for the better. I want to use this artifact to return back to Brightwater where we were before and see what things are like. If things are actually better.
What's Brightwater?
And so you don't have to make any roll for me. It is just an attuned magical artifact of your existence. But there is a whirl as the two of you, Tina, and, well, I assume you're taking Tina with you.
Yeah.
Or you could leave Tina behind.
Yeah, she's my buddy cop.
Yeah, that's right. She's your buddy cop.
Please
Yes, there's
me.
a whirl of chaos.
YZ or whatever it's called.
Reality around you sort of fizzling in and out, breaking into existence. When the two of you re-arrive, everyone who's not Tina and Jeff. Bring the board back up. When you do re-arrive back in that exact time you were aiming for, Brightwater, at the time of your original meeting. And when you do so, you land back in the spot roughly around the same time. The two of you actually together this time. And you're looking at Tina, and you see just one of the heads sort of shrink down like a blight. And that's weird. And Tina, you begin, now you get to have fun with this, Kelsey. Just reverse everything you just did. Just take your new reality. Start to slowly siphon it away to be replaced by a timeline in which there was no Ardemas and Tina in that dungeon, in that tomb, thousands of years ago. At some point, those people, if you think of it like this, at some point they're going to open a door to go see if you're ready for your next prophecy, and no one's there. And the prophet is gone. I'm sure they'll tell the story of him, the time he saved everyone from an earthquake. Maybe carve a little idol in his name somewhere one day. But until he returns via time travel, as far as we know, he's gone. And as a result, you continue to watch Ardemas as Tina, a second head, starts to shrink. You can see the panic in the anathema's eyes.
My power! No, I'm kidding.
What do you do, Artemis? What do you do, Tina? You got, when you look around you, you see this little shanty town. Tina, this is like a terrible desert world hellscape.
Surreal.
In the distance, literal devils fly across the horizon chasing each other because it's the infernal emergence. And all the eyes on the street are on you. They're all staring at you. What the hell's just teleported into town?
Weird. Right. Jeez.
It was as easy as that, huh? They were saved from the earthquake, but wasn't enough to save Ta-Shadet altogether.
Another
Ta-Shadet.
head fizzles down. You're down to two.
Oh yeah,
Tina.
Ta-Shadet, That sounds familiar.
Yeah, but how familiar?
Ta-Shadet, where from?
So that's a little bit too familiar.
Have you and I been to Ta-Shadet? No.
Yeah, you more than me considerably.
Me? Why? Is that where I'm from? Or...
No, you're from... Well, I know you here. I don't know where you're from.
Where's here?
It's Brightwater. You remember Brightwater? Tell me you remember Brightwater.
Another head shrivels.
I'm grabbing the snake's shoulders. Tell me you know where we are.
Well, what? Huh?
Doc, you gotta believe me.
Doc!
Kelsey's a doctor.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Working on it.
But the last head, it's a snake-like head. It's a serpentine head, but then the snake part sort of starts to shrivel into the shoulders and flatten out a little bit until it's sort of back into that Yanti half-blood.
Oof. Oh, we're back. Nice.
You remember?
I was going to say, for Kelsey's reference, with no memory of that timeline of the anathema timeline, you would still remember being in the temple, trying to fight the old man, And then it was all just kind of a blur. And then
Did you get him? Did you get the old man? Did you get the weird, crazed guy? Or your future self?
Oh, there's no ways in the 10 hells that that's future me. Maybe in some other reality. But I have no interest in becoming that. But we did get the thing that I was looking for.
Sweet. Your little, pendant thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll hold up the pendant, show it's a full hourglass now.
Oh. That's really pretty.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting it right back on my person, where no one else can spot it.
Well, I was gonna say, if you wanted to leave it here, I never got to take you to the archives, the cool archaeological sort of exhibit we set up here.
I wouldn't mind taking a look at that before I left. Just stroll around to make sure everything is set right.
Yeah, just looking for any inconsistencies, any sign of things that don't match up with the history you know. And it seems like Brightwater is as much as you remember it in your short time here before. And as you get to the archive, you know, Tina swings open the door and you can see boxes and shelves. A little bit of glisten, natural light coming through the windows, sparkling off of all the little tidbits of Ta-Shadet that are left here, that were just brought to sit and be used, maybe burned down or melted down someday, or to be given off as gifts, or traded with other towns. When you hear in the back of your head, Ardemas, like an echo, a voice that says, "I pulled him out! I pulled him out! Why isn't he waking up? Sir! Sir!" And it's just faintly, like all the way behind you. And it seems like it's like coming for you, getting louder and louder. "Sir! Sir, wake up! Are you okay? I pulled you out like you said!"
Hey, Tina. I hate to dip on such short notice, but
No, I understand.
thank you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Maybe I shouldn't have been so reckless with the ship, but I promise, if you're from the future, I'll bury my chest right here, waiting for you.
Thank you. This has been a surreal experience. I'm gonna turn around and try and follow whatever that voice is.
And as you do, and you look into the voice, you embrace the return. Take Tina off the board, and there's again, that tunneling feeling, like a temporal energy in the back of your head that will swirl. Actually, you know what? I'll do this. I'm gonna take you off the board. I'm gonna leave Tina here, because when Ardemas disappears, and you do watch him almost sort of like implode, just there's like a warp of just like, and he's gone. And at his feet, where he just was, you look, and there is half of an amulet that is dropped to the ground.
Oh.
And
I better
good.
put that in the box for him to find in 2,000 years.
And let's jump a couple thousand years later, where indeed you are pulled out of the circle, Ardemas. Back out there. As you come to, Ardemas, you are back with your friends, the miners and the laborers, the excavators, all of the people who were helping you out at the dig site. I'm actually going to get rid of the effect. And one of them will say, "Oh, you're finally awake. Do you know where you are? Do you know what year it is?" It's 999 PR. Post-reckoning.
Never heard anyone spell out what PR stood for telling me the year. Thanks. I come to my senses. I look around on my person for this hourglass artifact.
You do. You have it actually in your pocket. And he says, I didn't think you were gonna wake up. Most of us woke up pretty quickly, but it took you maybe 20 minutes? We thought you were gone, sir. Whatever was in that chest, it had a more powerful effect on you than it did on us. When you look over, there is still a scorch mark as if something had blown up in the excavation site, but instead, it looks like a half-buried chest that had just been swung open. He says, what did you find inside? I saw you reach in right before the second wave and the energy dispersed.
I pull out the pen artifact. Say, I think I found what I needed.
And in the background, another laborer in the distance goes, holy shit, there's so much Ta-Shadet stuff in here! Woo-hoo-hoo! And they start screaming. But Ardemas, you come back to Ardemas, I'm sure he's just looking at the pin.
It's just the half, right?
Just the half. When you showed up here, you just had the half. The same half you saw when you... Everything's mostly the same.
The same half I dropped. What a weird thing. Heck am I gonna tell my dad about this?
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is our session of the Brightwater Bodega, of the Beggar's Brightwater, of the technically, sneakily, also a slight backhauls crossover with Kappa Chef there. Then that's it for us tonight. Thank you, everyone. And we're going to do the traditional Martian send-off, if you are familiar with it. It involves some dice. That's correct.
Well, I got D6. Let me see. I'm gonna roll all sixes right now.
Excellent. All right. Well, while they're rolling, we're gonna tell everyone at home to.
I rolled.
Keep rolling the dice.
Keep rolling the dice.
There.
I rolled 3 6s and 3 3s.